Good afternoon, friends. In today's era of volatility, there is no other way but to reinvent. Corona has taught us many things and many ways how to adopt the changes. In our profession also, we face the heat of interacting with clients face to face, visiting departments personally and handling the hearings. Now, everything is becoming virtual but reality. Faceless assessments are starting, which sets the tone of automation and digitization of a new normal. Government mechanism is also fast changing their system to adopt this new normal, and most of the applications are online. Whether it is MSME registration, digital signature certificates, or for that matter, import-export license, and even birth certificates, death certificates are online now. In our profession also, artificial intelligence is taking fast grip on bank reconciliation, party reconciliation, as well as third-party confirmations also. Innovation is the only bridge to mind the digital gaps. To discuss about today's new normal and how digitization and automation can impact our profession, today's VCM is organized. I, C. Akshay Gullane, Vikasa Chairman Nagpur, along with Chairman of Nagpur Branch, CA Kirit Kalyani, Vice Chairman of Nagpur Branch, CA Saket Bagadia, and entire committee of Nagpur Branch, welcome you all to this VCM on automation and digitization. We are also fortunate to have with us two Central Council members, CA Durgesh Kabra sir and Dayaniwas Sharma sir, along with today's speaker, Mr. Mudit Kothari ji from Baroda. To begin with, I now request Chairman of Nagpur Branch, CA Kirit Kalyani sir, to give his welcome address. Kirit sir, over to you.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Akshay. Namaskar. First and foremost, I, on behalf of Nagpur branch of WIRC of ICAI, sincerely welcome you all to the VCM on automation and digitization, the new norm. Yes, friends, because of pandemic in the form of unfortunate COVID, it is said that the lives on all fronts, including on professional front as well, are on a temporary setback mode. Today itself in the morning, I saw one promotional clip for very popular program of Amitabh Ji Bachchan, Kaun Banega Crorepati. Therein the tagline was found to be setback to come back. I sincerely believe, yes, it needs to be there on all fronts, and to ensure to come back and that too very effectively on our professional front, I guess you all will agree that we need to effectively ensure digitization and automation as well, so as to ensure working at all times. Also, this is going to take care of any such unfortunate crisis ever in future. Friends, with this in mind, we have planned for this very unique and crucial virtual CP meet, that is VCM. I once again, along with Team Nagpur, with CA Vijit Kelkar ji, RCM in absentia, CA Saket Bagadia ji, Vice Chairman Nagpur Branch, CA Jiten Saglani ji, Secretary Nagpur Branch, CA Sanjay Agrawal ji, Treasurer Nagpur Branch, CA Akshay Gullane ji, Chairman Vikasa Nagpur 2020, and Coordinator as well, today's VCM, recognize the presence and sincerely welcome the dignitaries and resource persons for this VCM. First and foremost, on that note, CA Durgesh Kabra sir, Honorable Central Council member. Yes, he is here with us to grace the occasion, and as a chief guest as well, he is going to bless with his words of wisdom. Friends, it really feels proud to share virtual dais with such personality who is not only very apt authority for this occasion, but also is available for the sake of fraternity always. Durgesh sir is the key person and has played a very key role in planning this VCM for we at Nagpur. The faculties, CA Dayaniwas Sharma sir, Honorable CCM from Hyderabad, and Mr. Mudit Kothari ji. Durgesh sir has referred, and yes, he has ensured that both the faculties which are very renowned for this subject, are here to guide us. Durgesh sir, I sincerely welcome you and extend my well wishes on this occasion. Yes, friends, as regards speakers, come guides, come friends of today's VCM, for Nagpur members, CA Dayaniwas Sharma sir, again Honorable CCM from Hyderabad, is there to guide us with respect to yes, digital India and digital compliance aspects. Friends, when I contacted Dayaniwas sir and told him that I have heard a lot about yourselves, and even Durgesh sir has referred, and I requested him to please guide members of Nagpur branch, friends, he readily agreed to the same and conveyed that he always is there to guide and share his knowledge with the members. He will be guiding with respect to, as is said by me, digital India and digital compliance aspects. Friends, he will be discussing the changing regulatory frameworks and compliances. See Dayaniwas Sharma sir in absentia. Yes, I extend my well wishes and welcome you on behalf of Nagpur branch of ICAI. He is going to join us soon. The next resource person, friends, is Mr. Mudit Kothari ji from Baroda. Yes, he also is really friendly and knowledgeable, I must say. He has agreed to share his knowledge with respect to important opportunities to automate processes in our CA firms using RPA, that is robotic process automation. Mudit bhai, I sincerely welcome you as well on behalf of Nagpur branch of ICA. The gist is that, friends, yes, we need to take full benefit of the deliberations, as we are really fortunate to have the best possible faculties for the subject under consideration. On forthcoming front, yes, in the month of September, we are planning to deal with some important topics through refresher courses and workshops. Details will be shared to you soon. As now, we are expecting to have permission of live gatherings as well from 21st of September. I sincerely am wishing to be together once again as we used to meet earlier for the sake of professional causes. Yes, but the prevailing health situation at Nagpur needs to be taken care of. There is no doubt about it. I sincerely appeal you all, friends, to please stay in touch with the efforts of Nagpur branch of ICA and take benefit of all the events and such ventures. Before signing off, once again, we'd like to extend well wishes and would sincerely welcome on behalf of we all present in this VCM, CA Durgesh Kabra sir, Honorable CCM from Mumbai, who is gracing the occasion as chief guest and is, yes, going to bless with his words of wisdom as well. And the resource persons, CA Dayaniwas Sharma sir, Honorable CCM from Hyderabad, and Mr. Mudit Kothari ji from Baroda, because of whom the program has witnessed around 250 registration, which is a very good count. And yes, you all attendees are also being sincerely welcomed on behalf of Nagpur branch of ICI, because of which the VCM has become a memorable one. Wishing you all very joyous and fruitful sessions ahead. Thank you. It's over to you, Akshay ji.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chairman sir. Friends, we are fortunate to have with us Central Council member CA Durgesh Kabra sir. To formally introduce Durgesh sir, I request Vice Chairman CA Saket Bagdia to introduce him. Saket sir, over to you.
Thank you so much, Akshay. It's a proud privilege for Nagpur branch to have amongst us as chief guest Honorable Central Council member Sri Durgesh Bhai Kabra ji. Sri Durgesh Bhai Kabra branch. Durgesh Bhai was the former chairman of the Western India Regional Council of ICI in the year 2013-14. A thorough professional with over 20 years experience in almost every aspect of the accounting and auditing profession. He is also the embodiment of a modern CA professional, maintaining close relationships with his colleagues and peers, keeping in constant communication, and providing a friendly and easily accessible service for his friends. He is the founder and managing partner of DMKH and Company Chartered Accountants with expertise in statutory audits under the Companies Act, Income Tax Act, and other added laws. Friends, he has got an in-depth knowledge and experience of public issues, mergers, acquisition, and takeover of corporates. What sets him apart is that he is one of the rarities who not only creates a vision of success, but can also turn it into reality. He has got the vision to see the large picture, as also understanding the nitty-gritties in achieving that goal. extremely techno-savvy. That's the reason he becomes a very important person for this VCM. Durgesh Bhai is a dynamic, proactive, and far-sighted professional who has repeatedly demonstrated leadership combined with effective teamwork, commitment, and a passion to see the goals accomplished. He passed the CA in 1990 and practicing since then in the field of company law, corporate planning and structuring, audit and assurance services. Partner in DMKH and Company, he was the chairman of WRC of ICAI for 2012-13. And during his chairmanship, WRC got Best Regional Council Award, Best Student Association Award, and 8 awards to various branches, totaling 10 awards, which are the ever highest in the past of WRC. As a chairman, he had taken various new initiatives at WRC and was instrumental for creating network and knowledge sharing forum for our fraternity, starting video profiles for members in industries to facilitate easy access to employment. He had successfully holding first time in the history of ICI a multi-track regional conference and successfully started classroom training for IPCC and CPT at WRC Mumbai. Sir has been on various committees of WRC since last so many years on that. He is also actively associated with various social organizations. To name a few as Akhil Bharati Maheshwari Mahasabha, Mewad Maheshwari Mandal, Maheshwari Pragati Mandal, Keshav Shruti, Bharat Vikas Parishad, Goregaon Sports Club, Marwadi Sanskritik Kala Mandal, etc. He is also the member of Finance Committee of Veer Jijamata Technical Institute, Mumbai. He has been awarded with Yuva Pratibha Samman by All India Vaishya Federation, Mumbai, and Rajiv Gandhi Samarastha Award by Samarastha International Congress, Jaipur. To quote the words of Swami Vivekananda for this dynamic personality, perfection does not come from belief, faith, or talk. Perfection comes across selfless work. A man with such a selfless motive and a man of support. We are extremely fortunate to have you, sir, here. We welcome you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Saket sir. Definitely a perfectionist. May I now request CA Durgesh Kabra sir to give his keynote remarks. Durgesh sir, over to you.
Thank you. Thanks to the chairman of the branch, Kirit Kalyani. Thanks to Vikas Gulane, the Vikasa chairman of Nagpur, and Saket Bagadia, the secretary, and for giving my introductions in a very different way. I think I have never heard those kind of words for me, so it was really something new for me also. But let me tell you that, friends, you have sent me for a job, then I have to perform the job. That's what I believe. And if I don't perform, then I should not be there at the Central Council. So I am there for service to the fraternity, and I commit for that. I'll continue to serve my profession, and we'll see that the flag of our profession always remain high. Friends, today, as is told by Kirit, the chairman of Nagpur branch, that Mudit and Dayaniwas Sharma, who is my council colleague, are going to guide you all on the use of digital technology in the digital world in the assurance and audit services of the chartered accountant fraternity, and how they are becoming part of our day-to-day life. This is what is most important today. And tech has become the buzzword for our profession. I would term tech as TEQ. And if the chartered accountant, instead of TEK or some other word, TECH, for chartered accountant and their services, I will use this tech word as TEQ. And what is TEQ? Friends, is technology, ethics, and quality. So if the chartered accountant who is providing the audit and assurance services follows these three things. First is ethics, quality, and these two with the use of technology. Because technology is going to prevail in the market tomorrow. If we are not equipping ourselves, we are not developing our skill set in terms of the technology and technological tool, then I think we will be way behind in providing our services to the various stakeholders across the globe, not only in the country. So it is very important for all of us that we must get ourselves equipped with the technological tool which are helpful to render our services, to conduct our services. And for that, even the institute is trying hard to develop the audit tools and some other office management tools, which in turn will be provided to all the small and medium practitioners at free of cost. There will be no cost, hopefully, and even if there is a cost, that will be very minimal. That will be just like a maintenance cost of that software. But the cost of developing software will not be distributed among the fellow members. It is going to be only borne by the institute, and I assure you that we get the free software, we get the standardized software by which we can perform our duties in a much better way. And when a chartered accountant is conducting the audit on that particular tool, he wherever goes can continue to serve with the same pace, because he is the person who is having the knowledge of that particular software, and that particular software or that particular tool is being used by each and every firm in the country which is being provided by the institute, because all pros and cons will be discussed and deliberated at the institute level, and then this tool will be made available to all of you. So it will help all the practicing units in the country to have the documentations, to systematically plan the audit and understand what is exactly needed, what is exactly not needed, and then conduct the audit. So technology is becoming very important in our life. If we do not use technology for the purpose of assurance services, then I think we will not be able to survive in the years to come, or I would say rather not years, days to come. Years will be too much. Now the artificial intelligence, blockchains, data analytics, and cyber security, ABCD of the technology has become very important in the life of the professional accountants or the chartered accountants who are into the assurance services and audit services. And friends, with this, the ethics is again very important for all of us. New code of ethics have come. 3 issues which were hurting all of us have been deferred so far, but those will also come. 15% of the audit fees received from one client, 15% or more, that was supposed to be intimated to that client. Now it has been deferred for some time, but it will come in a modified form. We will deliberate it again, and it will be applicable to either public interested enterprises or to some other big companies, or BSE 500, NSE 500, NSE 1000, NSE 100, those kind of companies, it will be applicable, and then one has to work accordingly, and then and intimate accordingly to those charged with the governance. As far as the second issue is concerned in the code of ethics, that is related to the no clerk, that provision has also been temporarily withdrawn. It is not there, no clerk. We have deferred it, and we will deliberate it again. But let me tell you, friends, the standards on auditing 250 is already there, which deals about the compliance with the various laws and regulations which are there in this country and which are applicable to a particular organization where you are the auditor, and you have to look after those compliances also may not necessarily that you go into deep, but you must have the knowledge of that. So at least some non-compliances are there. Those can be brought to the knowledge of the stakeholders. So it is already there, also mandatory, because all essays are mandatory. So we have to be careful. We need to do audits according to the standard on auditing which are there, and those are, I don't know how many of us know the numbers, how many numbers are there for standards on auditing. When I address the Nagpur branch on standards on auditing, I think they may have heard, but there are 46 standards so far has been issued by the institute, has been approved by NAFRA and Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and is mandatory as per section 143(9) of the Companies Act. So without this, if you are conducting the audit and not complying with these standards, then there can be action against you, maybe by NAFRA, maybe by disciplinary committee, and maybe by QRB also. So we need to be very careful about this. And how you can be careful about this? We have talked about technology and ethics, and if we have to be careful, then the quality of audit has to be adhered by all of us. If we do not conduct our audit, we do not as per the quality standards set by the institute, quality standards set by the internationally acclaimed organizations which we are going to follow, and our AASB, Auditing and Assurance Standard Board, has issued all these, has developed all these standards on auditing and standards on review and standards on services as per the international standards of IFAC, that is known as International Audit and Assurance Standard Board, which is under the IFAC. And we have either taken as it is, which are not affecting much to us, or we have conversed the other standards, so we can render the auditing services in terms of the internal audit or some other assurance services there across the globe, because we knows what are the international standards. And when we know international standards about auditing, the standards of auditing are same as far as all other countries are there. So we can provide our services globally. What exactly we need to understand, 2-3 other things which is required to understand for a particular country, that if you understand their Companies Act, if you understand their Tax Act, you understand their GST Act, and then you become the master of the audit of that particular country. Because as far as the audit, the chartered accountancy course of this country is there, it is the best course which is being taught to the Indian chartered accountant students, and I am sure that with the quality of education which we have provided, we are doing it in that way. If we are not doing it in that way, then that quality is not going to serve the purpose. So the same thing here applies, that you conduct your audit by keeping in the view and mind the quality consciousness. I'm sure that we will be able to perform much better. And friends, whatever kind of problems which we are facing today, if we use this TEQ tech in our day-to-day practices of assurance and audit services, I'm sure that our quality is going to be the best, our services are going to be the best, and nobody will be able to raise fingers on us, and we will be able to keep our profession always high. The image which have been tarnished in the past some years, we will be able to achieve the glory back which was earlier there for this profession, provided we use this TEQ model, technology, ethics, and quality in our audit and assurance services. With this, I wish you all the best for today's learning, as well as I wish you healthy life. We know that we all are facing the testing time, but as is told by Kirit, from the tagline of one program of Kaun Banega Crorepati, setback to comeback. We have already come back. We have performed from day one. We have used the technological platforms. We are educating our members. We are conducting our audits by getting all the informations either in the Dropbox or in the OneDrive or using various other BI tools available, which are freely available to all of us. And we are using those tools and we are getting the information from our client, and we are conducting the audit also, we are filing the returns also. So the chartered accountants is the fraternity who is quite fast in learning, because we are habitual of learning every year. This is the only fraternity I can bet upon it. We learn very fast, whatever may be the changes. So we have changed ourselves and we continue to change. If we do not change, then it will create a lot of problems. We accordingly educate also our clients. The days have gone. We need to focus on this TEQ. Our client has to focus on this TEQ tag, and then I'm sure that we are going to perform well and going to do wonderfully well. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for listening me patiently. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Durgesh sir, for such motivating words. Friends, it is time to listen to our speaker, Mr. Mudit Kothari. Mudit has holds an engineering degree in mechatronics along with EMBA in business management. In 6 years of his professional journey, he has handled projects across diverse industry segments involving data analytics, machine learning, AI, Internet of Things, and RPA-based solutions. His experience in internal audit, risk management, finance, automation, and manufacturing has developed an understanding of technology applications in various business sectors. So let us listen more from him. I request Mr. Mudit Kothari to please take over the charge and deliver the lecture. Over to you, Mudit sir.
Let me tell you one thing about Mudit. Mudit is a part of very big firm of Baroda. In fact, it's a chartered accountancy firm. Is owned by his father and his uncle, Rohit Kothari. His father, and it's a very big firm, and he is looking after the internal audit, etc. over there. He has changed the systems by using the technology. So, though he is not a chartered accountant, but he is doing the whole work of chartered accountant and using the technology. So you will get the best from him today. The only important thing is we need to listen him carefully and we need to pose the questions to him. So you get best out of it. That is what is required and requested to all the participants. So you raise the questions to him, so you get the best from him. Thank you.
An engineer and a son of chartered accountant. So he can correlate with our professional issues more better. Over to you, Mudit sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Akshayji and Kiritji. And it is a great pleasure to speak in honest presence of Durgesh Kabra sir. And so today's session that I'm going to take is on, automate to upgrade. So we have been talking about technology. We've been hearing from sir about TEQ, technology, ethics, and quality. And right now, because of digitization and more so abhi a month end hai, and this is first time that I'm seeing such a big crowd in the month end, and this is only possible due to technology where people can spare some time for learning and development as well. So technology has made us upgrade, made us learn quicker and adapt quickly to different challenges and situation. और जो process automation की मैं आज बात करने वाला हूँ, so process automation can come through either developing technology solutions or the new term that has come in the dictionary now called robotic process automation, जहाँ पे आपके पास already कोई software available है, कोई technology available है, पर वो सॉफ्टवेयर और टेक्नोलॉजी को और बेटर यूज करना या बेटर ऑप्टिमाइज करना फॉर बेटर प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड effectiveness and efficiency. That is where RPA plays a very crucial role, and it acts as a bridge between a profession and technology. So मैं आज आपको जो कवर करने वाला हूँ that is more on what RPA is, how it has helped chartered accountant professionals in their work, how it can help in your future engagements, and what are the areas that you can look at in this segment. So again, sir ने मेरा introduction तो दिया ही था. So it has been more than 7 years now since I've graduated. I've been in the field of automation and digitization. साथ साथ में मैं CA firm, मेरे फादर की जो CA firm है वहाँ पे हमने काफी सारे अलग अलग processes identify करके we have already started doing a lot of automation and technology implementation. And मेरा यही कहना है कि you know, technology and profession they coexist. It is not that you know technology के बिना प्रोफेशन का आज काम नहीं हो सकता, बट प्रोफेशनल्स के बिना टेक्नोलॉजी भी एग्जिस्ट नहीं कर सकती, क्योंकि उनके तरफ से जो इनपुट आएगा, आप जिस तरह से प्रॉब्लम समझ सकते हैं क्लाइंट के, आप जिस तरह से एरियाज आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं जहां पे वैल्यू एडिशन हो सकता है, वो जब तक नहीं आइडेंटिफाई आएगा तब तक टेक्नोलॉजी इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो पाएगी और उसका गेन्स नहीं मिल पाएंगे. सो दे बोथ को एग्जिस्ट. और मैं आज का जो सेशन कवर करने वाला हूँ, मैं आज का जो सेशन कवर करने वाला हूँ, मेरा एक्सपेक्टेशन ये है कि आप एटलीस्ट सेशन के बाद ये अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेके जाए कि आरपीए क्या होता है और उसमें आप किस तरह से आगे बढ़ सकते हैं, किस तरह से आप आपके प्रोफेशन में उसको यूज कर सकते हैं एंड उसकी क्या यूटिलिटीज है. दूसरा है कि क्या क्या एप्लीकेशन एरियाज है. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जानना है कि आप ये आरपीए जो टेक्नोलॉजी है उसको किधर किधर अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, आपके लिए क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी इन हैंड है, and what are the areas of productivity and improvement that can be focused upon, और कैसे आरपीए के थ्रू आप ऑडिटिंग में इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं, प्लस आपके लिए क्या स्कोप है विद इन ऑडिटिंग एंड आरपीए सिस्टम. सो एक तो मैं पीपीटी दिखाने वाला हूँ, बट साथ में मैंने कुछ जो ऑटोमेशन किए उसका आपको डेमोस भी दिखाने वाला हूँ फॉर बेटर रेफरेंस. और मैंने एक स्मॉल क्विज रखा है जस्ट टू गेज एन अंडरस्टैंडिंग एट द एंड ऑफ द सेशन टू सी आपको कितना समझ आया अबाउट दिस टॉपिक. आपको कहीं भी कुछ डाउट हो, क्वेश्चन हो, प्लीज फील फ्री टू स्टॉप एंड आस्क अ क्वेश्चन, एंड मे बी किरिट जी और अक्षय जी आपको इफ यू कुड जस्ट पॉज मी इन बिटवीन व्हेनेवर. So moving on, what is RPA? So robotic process automation, it is similarly जैसे आपने मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में सुना होगा कि एक रोबोट होता है जो एक तरफ से दूसरी तरफ एक पार्ट मूव करता है या आपकी चीजें उठाता है, या जो भी मैनुअल प्रोसेसेस होते हैं उसको रिजॉल्व करता है. उसी तरह से आरपीए एक सॉफ्टवेयर रोबोट है. सो ये फिजिकल रोबोट नहीं है, बट एक ये चीज है जो आपके पीसी में या आपके मोबाइल में ये एक सॉफ्टवेयर रिसाइड करता है which can automate lot of your day-to-day tasks, and mostly in today's time आप जो भी काम करते हैं, whether it will be more on your PCs and mobile phones, and ये जो भी आपके tasks है, they can be taken care of by developing process automation solutions, by developing software robots. So that is RPA. और अगर एक और मैं इसके एनालॉजी दूं मैं आपको, so आप सब जानते होंगे मैक्रोस जो एक्सेल में बहुत फेमस है और काफी लोग उसको यूज कर चुके हैं. सो मैक्रोस जो है वो सिर्फ एक्सेल एनवायरनमेंट में यूज हो सकता है. आरपी आप ऐसा समझ सकते हैं कि एक मैक्रो है जो आपके पूरे डेस्कटॉप एप्लीकेशन या मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन में रन हो सकता है, लाइक अ मैक्रो. सो यूजिंग आरपीए यू कैन कनेक्ट मल्टीपल सॉफ्टवेयर्स like Excel, Word, email, and other Tally and other ERP tools into the same platform, and you can automate कि यहाँ से डेटा इस तरह से मूव हो रहा है, फिर इस तरह से प्रोसेस होना चाहिए, फिर आगे जाना चाहिए, उसको ये तरह से इस रिपोर्ट में कन्वर्ट करना है. So RPA works like a macro for your entire desktop in a very simple term. और ये जो भी चीजें होती है, these are all programmed. These are, you have to define rules कि ये हुआ इसके बाद क्या होना चाहिए, and you have to be very careful while defining rules ताकि आप ये समझ सके कि कहीं डेटा लीकेज ना हो या कहीं इंफॉर्मेशन किसी और जगह ना चले जाए. So all of those things you need to take care while you're defining the rules, and then these all things are happening. और ये ऑटोमेशन उसी तरह से आपको लगेगा जैसे मैं जब आपको डेमो दिखाऊंगा कि कोई ह्यूमन ही सिस्टम को ऑपरेट कर रहा है. So ये सब आपके फ्रंट स्क्रीन पे ही हो रहा है. Now more than understanding what is RPA, so RPA समझना बहुत सिंपल टर्म्स में वही है कि it is a macro for your entire desktop, but इससे ज्यादा जरूरी ये भी समझना है कि उसको कहाँ कहाँ अप्लाई कर सकते हैं. सो अगर आप ये एप्लीकेशन समझ गए तो आपका 25% ऑफ ऑटोमेशन का जो टास्क आप जो भी लेने वाले हैं वो बहुत इजी हो जाएगा, उतना आपका कवर हो जाएगा। सो आरपीए को अप्लाई करने के लिए इट कैन बी अप्लाइड इफ यू आर डूइंग एनी प्रोसेस रिकंसिलिएशन। सो कोई भी रिकंसिलिएशन की एक्टिविटी है, वेदर बैंक स्टेटमेंट रिकंसिलिएशन है या आपका स्टॉक स्टेटमेंट रिकंसिलिएशन है, कोई भी ऐसी रिकंसिलिएशन की एक्टिविटीज है, सो यू कैन यूज आरपीए फॉर डूइंग दीज रिकंसिलिएशन एक्टिविटीज। दूसरा है कि कहीं भी आपका डेटा एंट्री का काम है, सो इफ यू आर एंटरिंग लाइक अभी आप जैसे इनकम टैक्स के कुछ इंफॉर्मेशन है जो आप अभी कंप्यूटैक्स या क्लियर टैक्स या ऐसी वेबसाइट पे फिलअप करते हैं, ये फॉर्म्स फिलअप करते हैं, उसमें काफी सारी चीजें स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड रहती है। सो यूजिंग दीज बॉट्स यू कैन ट्रेन देम कि वो जो आपकी स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड चीजें है वो बॉट ही इनपुट कर दे, और आपके लिए खाली जहाँ पे क्रूशियल चीजें है, जहाँ पे आपका रिमार्क्स जाना चाहिए या क्रूशियल एलिमेंट जाना चाहिए, वही चीज आपके लिए छोड़ दे। अदर देन दैट इट कैन बी अप्लाइड, मतलब आपको दो तीन अलग अलग सॉफ्टवेयर लिंक करके कुछ एक्टिविटीज करनी है। जैसे कि एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ कि आपको सपोज आपका पुराना ईआरपी है और वो पुराने ईआरपी में जीएसटी का इंटीग्रेशन नहीं है। अगर आप नया ईआरपी या नया आप प्रैक्टिस मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर या कुछ लेने जाते हैं, या ऑफिस टूल आप कुछ नया लेने जाते हैं, तो इट बिकम्स एक्सपेंसिव फॉर यू। बट अगर आप सेम सॉफ्टवेयर की कैपेबिलिटी इंप्रूव करना चाहते हैं आपके एग्जिस्टिंग सॉफ्टवेयर की जिसमें जीएसटी की इंटीग्रेशन नहीं है, सो यूजिंग आरपीए यू कैन गिव दिस टूल एन एडवांस कैपेबिलिटी, जहां पे आपके जो भी ऑफिस मैनेजमेंट टूल है उसमें आप अगर कुछ भी जीएसटी रिलेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन कैप्चर कर रहे हैं, so you can use a bot which can extract that information, convert it into the form that is required by the GST portal, और वो automatically GST portal में आप उसको बता सकते हैं कि इस जगह पे फाइलिंग करनी है। सो 2 3 4 जितने भी सॉफ्टवेयर आपको मल्टीपल लिंक करने हैं, यू वांट टू मूव डेटा फ्रॉम वन सॉफ्टवेयर टू अनदर, दैट कैन बी डन यूजिंग आरपीए। आपको कुछ भी चीज वैलिडेट करनी है, कॉन्करेंटली ऑडिट करनी है, सो उस चीज में भी आरपीए यूज हो सकता है, जहाँ पे प्रोसेस काफी स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड है। एंड यहाँ पे एक बेनिफिट और ये भी है कि आपको एक बार आपने सिस्टम को सिखा दिया, फिर आपको उसको वापस वो चीज सिखाने की जरूरत नहीं है। So this becomes a learning or a training guide for people also who are joining new in the organization, because उनको भी एक प्रोसेस की क्लैरिटी आ जाएगी कि क्या किस तरह से फ्लो हो रहा है। एंड जो मैं आपको बोल रहा था, आज काफी जगह ये हो रहा है कि टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसा नहीं है कि नई चीज है। अभी काफी लोगों ने इन पास्ट डिकेड काफी लोगों ने काफी सारी टेक्नोलॉजीज के ऊपर इन्वेस्टमेंट कर लिया होगा। अब टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसी चीज है कि अब इसमें इतना सारा रोज डे टू डे इनोवेशन आ रहा है कि आप हर टेक्नोलॉजी खरीद नहीं सकते। सो यू हैव टू यूज आरपीए। सो आरपीए यूज करके आप पुरानी टेक्नोलॉजी को भी स्मार्ट बना सकते हैं। सो आपके यहाँ पे जो भी आप ऑफिस में टूल्स यूज कर रहे हैं, वेदर टैली और वेदर एनी अदर सॉफ्टवेयर दैट यू आर यूजिंग, you can make them at par with current software by using robotic process automation tools. So RPA की जो key functionalities है, they are one is it focuses on improving the operational efficiency. So आज आप जब भी कोई काम कर रहे होते हैं ऑडिटिंग और अश्योरेंस का, there is chances that lot of human errors can take place, क्योंकि मतलब एक बहुत सिंपल एग्जांपल है कि आप फाइनेंशियल रिटर्न फाइल कर रहे हैं और उसमें एक्सेल में पंच कर रहे हैं इंफॉर्मेशन। तो एक्सेल में जब आप इंफॉर्मेशन पंच कर रहे हैं तो ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपने एक डेसिमल पहले ही आपने ले लिया है कोई फिगर में, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट देयर कुड बी अ मैसिव फाइनेंशियल इम्पैक्ट। सो उस तरह की जो गलतियां ह्यूमन एरर्स होती है, दोस कुड बी अवॉइडेड बाय हैविंग अ प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन सिस्टम, because an error that a human can make, the system can avoid that, because it can pick up information accurately and put in the information in the right place. दूसरा है कि because आपकी efficiency improve होगी, साथ साथ में आपका काम जल्दी खत्म होगा, you'll be able to make reports faster, और आपकी productivity improve होगी, and you'll be able to give out better quality reports. Third is that आपकी एम्प्लॉय को भी काफी सेटिस्फैक्शन होगा, क्योंकि जो नॉन वैल्यू एडेड एक्टिविटीज है, काफी टाइम ऐसा होता है कि डेटा एंट्री वाला काम जो है या बहुत सिंपल वेरिफिकेशन वाला काम जो है, मोस्टली एम्प्लॉय डोंट लाइक दोस काइंड ऑफ वर्क। सो इफ दे कैन बी ऑटोमेटेड बाय यूजिंग सच रोबोट्स where your efficiency and quality is also improving and employee is putting their time in value addition instead of doing that laborious process. So वहाँ पे employee का भी satisfaction बढ़ता है. And obviously अगर आपकी efficiency और improvement अच्छी हो रही है, आपकी quality improve हो रही है, तो there is a chances of cost reduction and you can do much more in less time. So before going into much more detail, जो मैं आपको RPA के बारे में बता रहा हूँ, so there are a lot of softwares out there which focus on different functionalities within RPA. जो core RPA है, मतलब कि जो pure blooded RPA service providers है, those are UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism. ये तीन अभी वर्ल्ड में नंबर 1, 2, 3 पोजीशंस पे है, and they have their own training programs as well, online training programs, जहाँ पे आप इनकी टेक्नोलॉजी सीख सकते हैं. So UiPath का खुद का एक टूल है, वो टूल कैसे यूज करना है, कैसे अंडरस्टैंड करना है. So जैसे मैं, हमारी जो CA फर्म है, उसमें हमारे आर्टिकल्स एंड चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स both have gone through this course. This is a 7-day course or a 1-week course. It is not too technical and it is very easy to understand कि ये tools कैसे यूज करना है. और इनके जो ये सब जो कंपनीज है, UiPath, Automation Anywhere, इनके कम्युनिटी एडिशन प्लेटफॉर्म्स है which are free of cost for lifetime. So ये जो आप लर्निंग लेंगे इनके प्लेटफॉर्म पे, that will be free of cost for you, and plus you can use the tools for a lot of automation purposes. So हमारी कंपनी में काफी लोग ने ये कोर्स किया है UiPath का और Automation Anywhere का, and they understand how to use their community edition tools जहाँ पे ये RPA automation होता है. So अगर आपको किसी को भी इंटरेस्ट है आगे RPA के बारे में और सीखने के लिए और इन टूल्स के ऊपर कैपेबिलिटीज गेन करने के लिए, then you should definitely visit their academy, UiPath Academy or Automation Anywhere की academy, and learn their application. Apart from that, अगर आप business process management side ज़्यादा काम करना चाहते हैं for RPA automation, then there is a company called Pega, which is again a very good tool solution out there in the market. अगर आप ERP focus tool करना चाहते हैं, तो अभी SAP ने भी खुद अपना ERP के साथ साथ एक RPA enabled system निकाला है. So SAP is also come into this domain where, you know, linked with ERP, they are offering RPA tool for doing a lot of automation work that is done outside the ERP. So आप वो चेकआउट कर सकते हैं. Antworks एक बहुत फेमस कंपनी है जिनका ऑफिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के रिलेटेड ऑटोमेशन करना काफी अच्छा है. एंड फ्रंट ऑफिस रिलेटेड ऑटोमेशन के लिए NICE करके जो कंपनी है, उनका बहुत ही प्रोमिनेंट नेम है इन दिस फील्ड. सो आप कभी भी अगर आगे सोच रहे हैं ऑटोमेशन को अपना पार्ट बनाने का, अपने प्रोफेशन का पार्ट बनाने का और अपने क्लाइंट्स को ये सर्विसेज ऑफर करने का, देन यू शुड डेफिनेटली चेक आउट UiPath, Automation Anywhere, NICE, Antworks, Pega. So इसके लिए, इसमें आपके लिए क्या है, what is the unique selling proposition and why you should pursue RPA and make it part of, you know, part of your profession so you can get upgraded as a chartered accountant firm. So one is it can give you speed. So जो भी आपके redundant tasks, manual tasks है, you can, once you have automated those tasks, you'll get a lot of speed. Second is आपके जो existing applications है, जो पुराने हैं, जो आप जिसमें आप ऑलरेडी इन्वेस्ट कर चुके हैं, उसको आप लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ एट पार रख पाएंगे बाय यूजिंग दिस सॉल्यूशन, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू डू इट एट अ मच लेसर कॉस्ट. थर्ड इज की प्रिसाइज इंफॉर्मेशन एंड रिपोर्टिंग. सो आपकी जैसे जैसे स्पीड बढ़ेगी और आपका टेक्नोलॉजी अपडेटेड रहेगा, तो आपकी यू बी मोर प्रिसाइज इन रिपोर्टिंग एंड ऑफरिंग योर सर्विसेज. So ये तीन चीज है जो आपका एक यूनिक सेलिंग प्रोपोजिशन बन जाएगा एज अ चार्ट अकाउंटेंट एंड चार्ट अकाउंटेंट फर्म, एंड इट कैन डू वंडर्स फॉर यू. सो नाउ मैं अभी यहाँ पे मैंने कुछ केसेस लिखे हैं जहाँ पे आई एम ट्राइंग टू एक्सप्लेन वेयर ऑल यू कैन अप्लाई RPA इन योर फील्ड. आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट कि अगर आपको कुछ अभी तक जो भी आपने सुना है उसके ऊपर से अगर आप चैट सेक्शन में इफ यू कुड पॉइंट आउट कि आपको क्या लग रहा है, कौन सी एरियाज में आपके प्रैक्टिस में आप सोच सकते हैं कि RPA कहाँ अप्लाई करना है, those who are participating. So maybe I can, you know, pull some of the points and then we can discuss whether यहाँ पे already RPA हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा है. So मैं meanwhile I'll just explain where to apply RPA. So ये जो आप bot देख रहे हैं बीच में, so this bot can talk to a PDF file, it can talk to any document file, it has an inbuilt capability of reading any document. So आपके PDF में अगर कोई टेबल है, अगर आपके PDF में कुछ particular information है that you want to read, so very easily from RPA you can read those information. And RPA में जो प्रोग्रामिंग, जो मैं UiPath ऑटोमेशन एनीवेयर की बात कर रहा था, वो प्रोग्रामिंग आपको ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको प्रोग्रामिंग नॉलेज आनी चाहिए। उसमें जो प्रोग्रामिंग होती है वो बहुत सिंपल बेसिक लैंग्वेज में होती है, उसमें खाली आपको ड्रॉप करना होता है, पिक एंड ड्रॉप जैसा ऑटोमेशन है पूरा वो। सो यू जस्ट हैव टू ड्रॉप थिंग्स, यू हैव टू पॉइंट आउट कि कौन सी फाइल रीड करनी है, अभी वेबसाइट है तो सपोज आपकी इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न की वेबसाइट है, एक यहाँ पे ऑटोमेशन यूज केस में पॉइंट आउट करना चाहूंगा। सो एक यूजर थे, दे वांटेड कि इनकम टैक्स की जो वेबसाइट पे जो भी असेसमेंट्स आते हैं और उसकी जो नोटिफिकेशंस आते हैं, सो ऑन अ डे टू डे बेसिस दे वांटेड टू क्रिएट अ बॉट। तो अभी ये मैनुअली कर रहे थे कि वो हर बार वेबसाइट पे जाते थे, चेक करते थे कि उस दिन पे कुछ नया आया है नहीं आया, एंड देन अगर कुछ नया नोटिफिकेशन आता था दे यूज्ड टू डाउनलोड दैट एंड स्टोर दैट। Now, what we've done using RPA is every day at the end of the day, like at 6 o'clock, the bot runs automatically. वो इनकम टैक्स की वेबसाइट पे जाता है जहाँ पे ये असेसमेंट्स ऑर्डर रहते हैं, वो वहाँ पे डेट वाइज वो डाउनलोड करता है फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर डे जो भी नोटिफिकेशन यहाँ आया है, एंड देन उसको फोल्डर में, सही फोल्डर में कैटेगराइज भी करके रख देता है, और उसका जो रेफरेंस एक एक्सेल शीट में भी पास कर देता है कि आज की ये डेट है, ये डॉक्यूमेंट था और मैंने ये फोल्डर, ये जो उसका फाइल लोकेशन है। सो इस तरह से उनका एक्सेल शीट भी मेंटेन्ड है ऑन अ डे टू डे बेसिस, सो दे नो कि कौन से नोटिफिकेशंस आ चुके हैं, प्लस उनका इंफॉर्मेशन भी प्रॉपर्ली कंपाइल्ड है। सो इस तरह का ऑटोमेशन आप काफी कर सकते हैं। उसके अलावा दिस बॉट कैन टॉक टू योर ERP, SAP, टैली, Navision, जितने भी ERP सिस्टम है, बिकॉज दिस बॉट वर्क्स ऑन द फ्रंट एंड। सो आपको खाली ये बताना है कि आपको कौन सी फील्ड्स पिकअप करनी है फ्रॉम द ERP। ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि ये बॉट को वो सिस्टम आना जरूरी है, वो सिस्टम के साथ पहले से इंटीग्रेशन जरूरी है। दिस कैन फ्रीली टॉक टू एनी सॉफ्टवेयर ऑन योर PC और मोबाइल। दूसरा है कि आपका ईमेल, सो यूजिंग द बॉट यू कैन आल्सो यूज ईमेल फंक्शन, जहां पे आप ईमेल से जाके कोई भी अटैचमेंट आया, कोई भी क्रिटिकल मेल आया, अगर आपको ऐसा चाहिए कि कोई भी इस पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट का मेल आए, तो ये डाउनलोड भी हो जाना चाहिए, और आपको और भी रिस्पेक्टिव जो स्टेक होल्डर्स है वो पर्टिकुलर ईमेल के, उनको ऑटोमेटिक वो मेल फॉरवर्ड भी हो जाना चाहिए, या वो डाउनलोड होकर कुछ और ट्रिगर होना चाहिए, तो आप उस तरह के भी ऑटोमेशन क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। एंड अगर आप पावर BI यूज कर रहे हैं, टैबलू यूज कर रहे हैं, या कोई भी और डैशबोर्ड रिलेटेड सॉफ्टवेयर यूज कर रहे हैं जहां पे आपको डेटा प्रोसेस करके अपलोड करना पड़ता है फॉर गेटिंग एनालिटिक्स एंड एवरीथिंग, सो अगेन यू कैन यूज RPA systems फॉर डूइंग दैट। सो आई वुड लाइक टू हियर फ्रॉम यू कि आपको कौन से एरियाज लगते हैं वेयर RPA कैन बी अप्लाइड, इफ यू कुड पोस्ट इन द चैट सेक्शन। Hello, am I audible? Kirit ji, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So does anyone based on this have any view कि कहाँ पे RPA आपको लगता है आपकी प्रैक्टिस में आप अप्लाई कर सकते हैं? आप चैट सेक्शन में डाल दीजिएगा। I'll move on. So now within finance and auditing, the area of your expertise, where all automation has come in, and what is the general trend in the market. So if you see Google trend for RPA, it has only grown exponentially in the last 2 years, and if you see more in a detailed manner, if you look into the percentages, there is a study that GL and reporting, AR, cash management, expense reporting, these areas have seen a lot of processes which have undergone automation, and काफी firms and organizations have applied automation in these places. And more specifically finance function में अगर आप देखेंगे तो within purchase to pay, record to report, there are many areas within that which I will cover later on. What are the standard areas which you should look into for automation, जहाँ पे automation आया है. And globally there was a study based on which by McKinsey, जहाँ पे 46% of finance teams have either started using RPA or they have started at least trialing by doing RPA pilot programs. So now before I go to share the demos with you, there is one use case that I wanted to share with you, and this was done for a particular firm. So over here जो process था वो company में वो ऐसा था कि it is an automobile component manufacturing company, and they used to provide certain parts to the renowned two-wheeler supplier. And what used to happen was whenever their customer, whenever their client, the two-wheeler supplier used to, they had a process of rate revision every quarter. So जब भी वो अपना रेट रिवाइज करते थे, ये जो ऑटोमोबाइल कंपनी है उनको अपना रेट रिवीजन करना पड़ता था फ्रॉम अ कस्टमर पर्सपेक्टिव, एंड दे हैड टू गिव अ रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव इफेक्ट इन देयर फाइनेंशियल, एंड सिमिलरली दे हैड टू गिव मॉडिफाई देयर परचेज. सो अपने वेंडर की साइड भी उनको वो रेट रिवीजन करना पड़ता था एवरी क्वार्टर, एंड देन बेस्ड ऑन दैट दे हैड टू रेज द डेबिट नोट और सप्लीमेंट्री इनवॉइस टू देयर वेंडर्स. सो ये जो प्रोसेस था, इट वाज very manual, and within a quarter, and now this automobile company had 4 locations in India, and at each location at least 10 man days used to go in resolving this issue. So if you can see, अगर 10 man days जा रहे हैं in a quarter and across अगर 4 plants है, so 40 man days हर quarter जा रहे हैं, and over the year you are having close to 40 into 12 man days, so 480 man days lost only doing this particular activity, which is repetitive in nature and very error prone. So अगर आपका रेट का कहीं भी मिसमैच हो गया और आपकी फाइनेंशियल्स में कुछ भी रॉन्ग आ गया, सो आपका रिकंसिलिएशन में एक तो काफी टाइम जाएगा, एंड बीइंग अ लिस्टेड कंपनी आपको बैलेंस शीट में और उस वक्त में काफी चैलेंजेस फेस होंगे. सो व्हाट यूज्ड टू हैपन वाज, ये जो कंपनी है, they used to receive rate revision over email. So उनको एक email आता था from their client that we are revising the rate and this is the new rates that are applicable for you for the previous quarter and from the quarter onwards. So वो rate को, वो जो उनको email आता था, that was in a PDF format with a table. So now what the employee at the organization used to do was वो table download करते थे, टेबल में से जो भी रेट रिवीजन होता था. नाउ देयर आर मोर देन 40,000 कंपोनेंट्स, स्मॉल ऑटोमोबाइल कंपोनेंट्स व्हिच आर सेंट टू द क्लाइंट. सो आप वॉल्यूम समझ सकते हो और आप ये भी समझ सकते हैं कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी की, जब 40,000 आपको कंपोनेंट्स में अगर रेट रिवीजन करना है, सो इट इज वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स. और ये जो चीज होती थी, दे यूज्ड टू मेंटेन एन एक्सेल शीट जहां पे कंपोनेंट वाइज दे यूज्ड टू मेंटेन की प्रीवियस क्वार्टर का क्या रेट था, अभी जो रिवाइज रेट है वो क्या रेट है, and they used to maintain that in that Excel sheet. So पहले तो मैनुअल एक्टिविटी वहीं पे रहती थी जहाँ पे वो जो PDF कॉपी आती थी उसको मैनुअली रीड करते थे और वो रेट रिवाइज करते थे. उसके बाद रेट रिवीजन करने के बाद वो SAP यूज करते थे, तो वहां से सेल्स रजिस्टर या परचेज रजिस्टर डाउनलोड करते थे, एंड आफ्टर डाउनलोडिंग द सेल्स एंड परचेज रजिस्टर दे यूज्ड टू filter item wise these invoices. So and जहां पे वो retrospective effect देना होता था, so they used to apply that retrospective effect on each sale or purchase that has taken place. उसके ऊपर से फिर they used to do the correction and then generate a format again which had to be uploaded on the SAP system. और उसके basis पे they used to generate credit note and debit note. So ये पूरा process रहता था. It was quite cumbersome. So using RPA, what we did was it covered entire thing. So now what the bot used to do was it went to their email, downloaded the revised rate sheet, it could read the table in the PDF file. वहां से वो सारी रेट रिवीजन की जो भी लेटेस्ट रेट्स उन्होंने प्रोवाइड की आइटम वाइज वो रेट पुल कर लेते थे. हर आइटम में वो रेट उनके जो मास्टर था वहां पे अपडेट कर देते थे. And now whenever they are downloading the sales and purchase register from ERP, so ये bot simultaneously जब मेल आता था तब से ट्रिगर होता था. ट्रिगर होने के बाद वो ERP सिस्टम से सेल्स रजिस्टर डाउनलोड करता था, उसमें अपने आप कॉलम्स ऐड करता था जहाँ पे वो प्रोसेसिंग होता था कि कितना रेट डिफरेंस है और रेट डिफरेंस के ऊपर से क्या रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव एक्शन देना है. सिमिलरली वो परचेज रजिस्टर डाउनलोड करता था और उसके बाद उनको SAP फॉर्मेट में कन्वर्ट करके एक CSV फाइल बना के वापस SAP में अपलोड करता था. सो ये करने से काफी सारा जो भी नॉन वैल्यूएड एक्टिविटी था वो सिंप्लीफाई हो गया. इट बिकेम अ सेंट्रलाइज सिस्टम. सो पहले 4 प्लांट अलग अलग अपने प्रोसेसेस करते थे. अब ये जहाँ पे उनका हेडक्वार्टर है वहां पे ही ये ऑटोमेशन होना चालू हो गया. सो चारों प्लांट का मिला के अब जो पहले 480 मैन डेज लगते थे, अब ये 2 घंटे का काम हो गया फॉर वन प्लांट. एंड सिमिलरली विद इन अ डे ये पूरी एक्टिविटी खत्म हो जाती थी फॉर अ क्वार्टर. So this is the kind of automation that you can look into. So यहाँ पे काफी सारे इंटेंजिबल चीजें थी जो एड्रेस हो गई, जो हम काफी बार हमारे प्रोसेसेस में कंसिडर नहीं करते. So and you know we have also broken it down into buckets. So data acquisition, data structuring, data processing and उसका preparation. So ये जो buckets थी यहाँ पे काफी सारी intangible चीजें हैं, related to कि अब जैसे कि जब वो डाउनलोड होता था रेट शीट, तो काफी बार ऐसा होता था कि बंदा पुराना ईमेल से पुरानी रेट शीट डाउनलोड कर लेता था और उसके हिसाब से रेट अप्लाई कर देता था मास्टर में, जिसके कारण इश्यूज आते थे. दूसरा होता था कि अगर नया रेट आया है पर वो सीरीज ऑफ परचेज रजिस्टर गलत पीरियड का डाउनलोड कर लेता था, या फिर काफी बार डुप्लीकेशन बहुत होता था कि जहाँ ऑलरेडी रेट चेंज कर चुका है फिर वापस से वो वही वहां पे एरिया वही फील्ड में वापस रिवाइज रेट इनपुट कर रहे हैं. एंड सिमिलरली रिकंसिलिएशन, जब वो कैलकुलेट आइटम वाइज जब वो फॉर्मूला अप्लाई करके जो भी कैलकुलेशन करते थे फॉर गेटिंग द रेट डिफरेंसेस, that is where again lot of time went and there were a lot of errors that used to be identified while doing that process. So काफी बार ऐसा भी होता था कि कोई पर्टिकुलर, क्योंकि 40,000 लाइन आइटम्स है या कंपोनेंट्स है, तो काफी बार वैल्यूज भी मिस हो जाती थी एंड काफी बार क्रूशियल वैल्यूज मिस हो जाती थी, जिसके कारण फाइनेंशियल इम्पैक्ट बहुत ज्यादा होता था. सो बाय डेवलपिंग दिस बॉट, एंड आई वुड से कि ये बॉट जो डेवलप किया, दिस जस्ट टुक 1 week to develop. So while when you are developing an IT solution, it takes minimum 1 month to 3 months on an average to develop any IT or technology solution. RPA ये जो डेवलपमेंट टाइम है बहुत कम कर लेता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपको मेजर फोकस आपका पहले यही है कि यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि कहाँ पे गैप एरियाज है, विच आर द प्रोसेसेस, एंड चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स और प्रोफेशनल्स वर इन द इंटरनल ऑडिट फील्ड. सो ये जो हमको कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट आई थी, दिस केम फ्रॉम द इंटरनल ऑडिट डिपार्टमेंट of that organization. So internal audit department and chartered accountants are best suited to identify कि कहाँ पे क्या issues है और ये issues को किस तरह से plug किया जा सकता है. So that covers 50% of the automation use case. उसके बाद जो आता है कि जो RPA में आपको tools बता रहा था. So these applications were deployed using community edition, और इसको बनाने में सिर्फ 1 हफ्ते का टाइम लगा. एंड क्लाइंट को जो results देखने थे, that was seen in within a day. So in this way RPA is a very good solution for you to tackle a lot of small process areas जहाँ पे आपको gaps दिख रही है, risks दिख रहे हैं, opportunities दिख रही है कि अभी जो errors थी you can reduce those errors. So I want to highlight some benefits that the organization got from this case study. One is they got a better improved control over their managing these sheets and files and data. And second was their cost was reduced क्योंकि उनका man hour कम हो गया and उनका processing time कम हो गया. उनका जो time debate में जाता था 2 लोगों के बीच में और या different centers के बीच में, 4 location के बीच में, वो time कम हो गया. And accuracy of data improved. And एक और जो चीज है कि these bots, ये जो bots होते हैं ये human नहीं होते, so they don't need to work from a standard 9 to 6 environment. So these bots we deployed that कि अभी रात को ही काम करते थे and they have 24/7 operational capability. तो आपको कोई limitation नहीं है कि कभी भी ये bot run कर सकते हैं. So before you get into process automation or any kind of automation or technology, this is something even in RPA you need to keep in mind while you are doing any analysis. So अगर आप कभी भी अब आगे decide करते हैं RPA को implement करने के लिए, you need to understand कि अगर आपकी data में consistency है, by consistency of data I mean there is another use case जहाँ पे एक public sector company थी, they wanted to automate payment of to their vendors based on the purchase orders. So what they wanted to do was again they were using SAP. So what they wanted कि bot should read the PDF file of the purchase order, Based on that, it should pick out all the values related to कि PO का amount कितना है, bank guarantee का percentage कितना है, inspection का percentage कितना है, third party inspection का, आपका travel and freight का percentage कितना है, and based on this, and then it wanted the bot to go into SAP and calculate कि अब तक अगर कोई GRN entries हुई है, कि कितनी GRN entries हो गई है, कौन से item के सामने GRN line item के सामने GRN entry हो चुकी है, कितना entry बाकी है, and whether whether if the vendor is under the is working as per proper deadlines या it has gone delayed. अगर delayed है तो वापस उस पे जो भी penalty apply करनी है तो penalty apply करनी है, तो कितनी value की apply करनी है. So ये सब चीजें they wanted the bot to do, and then a bot to prepare a spreadsheet for each vendor कि इस वेंडर का इतना माल आ चुका है, उसके हिसाब से इतना पेमेंट एलिजिबल है उसको, उसमें से अगर बैंक गारंटी आ गई है तो बैंक गारंटी का अमाउंट नहीं काटना है, अगर नहीं आई है तो बैंक गारंटी का भी अमाउंट काटना है, इंस्पेक्शन का अमाउंट काटना है, जीएसटी अप्लाई करना है, आईजीएसटी अप्लाई करना है, सीजीएसटी अप्लाई करना है, डिपेंडिंग ऑन उनकी लोकेशन, एंड देन फाइनली उनको एक वैल्यू आ जानी चाहिए कि इतनी वैल्यू इस वेंडर को पे करनी है बाय यूजिंग द बॉट. Now the challenge over here was जो परचेज ऑर्डर कॉपी वो जनरेट करते थे फॉर ईच वेंडर, कहीं पे उन्होंने पीपीजी लिखा होगा फॉर परफॉर्मेंस बैंक गारंटी, कहीं पे वो लिखेंगे परफॉर्मेंस बैंक गारंटी, कहीं पे वो लिखेंगे परफॉर्मेंस बैंक और जी गारंटी का खाली जी लिखेंगे. सो कंसिस्टेंसी ऑफ डेटा नहीं रहने के कारण नाउ बॉट इज नॉट अ ह्यूमन वेयर इट कैन राइट नाउ मेक स्मार्ट डिसीजंस. सो वो कैप्चर नहीं कर पाया वो फील्ड बॉट, एंड इट यूज्ड टू मिस आउट ऑन ऑल दोस फील्ड्स. सो कभी भी आप कोई भी प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन आगे लेना चाहते हैं, यू शुड बी श्योर कि वहां पे डेटा की कंसिस्टेंसी है, जो भी नेमिंग या नोमेनक्लेचर यूज हो रहा है सही तरह से यूज हो रहा है. इवन हमने ये भी इशू फाइंड किया कि अगर प्रोसेस बैंक गारंटी के बीच में, अगर प्रोसेस और बैंक के बीच में पहले एक स्पेस था और दो स्पेस भी आ गया, सो देन द बॉट मैल फंक्शन. So these are some things that you need to keep in mind while addressing any process automation opportunity. Second is clicks and keystrokes. So now bot works on a front end, so you have to very appropriately define कि कहाँ पे उसको click करना है for entering anything, कहाँ से वो download करना है, कहाँ से read करना है, कहाँ पे क्या shortcuts use करने हैं. So all of these things you need to be well versed with जब आप RPA सीख रहे हैं और RPA apply कर रहे हैं. And authentication and access to data. Now using RPA, जैसे मैं आपको email का बता रहा था कि bot can enter emails and then download data from them. For that they require authentication of those email messages. So उसके लिए आपको email ID and password का भी provision करना पड़ता है. Now you need to be very sure कि आप जब ये implement कर रहे हैं, you need to be very careful कि you're not sharing certain crucial data over there. And though these RPA robots, they can also work in an offline manner, and they are much more secure, and they are as secure as your system. So ऐसा हो सकता है काफी बार कि आपको internet की जरूरत ही नहीं है, and you can run these bots without internet in a system, and they are much more secure. But still you need to take care कि आप क्या-क्या authentication provide कर रहे हैं, किस तरह का access provide कर रहे हैं, and you need to consider all of that, and those become very critical when you are implementing any process automation project. So that is my critical learning from all of this. And now within finance and accounts, certain areas that you can look into. So here I'll talk about कि आप कौन से areas के साथ start कर सकते हो. You should think of automating within your own premises or at your client's place, or you can offer them. So general accounting, revenue management. In last couple of years, taxation has picked up a lot because it is a very data oriented thing, and it has tremendous potential for automation. Slowly risk management and auditing is also catching up in RPA space. And one use case over here I'll share later on for related to audit at a particular client's place. These are certain case areas that you could pick up for automation. It could be ledger entries, it could be reconciliation activities, it could be data filing, report filing, income tax filing, extraction of data from different files, and then collating them into an Excel sheet, and then doing analysis and validation. So ऐसी जो भी चीजें हैं within your audit process, assurance process, maybe you can also use for आप statutory audit कर रहे हैं तो balance sheet and balance sheet preparation के लिए use कर सकते, balance sheet and P&L preparation के लिए use कर सकते हैं. आपके client end पे आप automation create करके रख सकते हैं जहाँ पे bot automatically उनका balance sheet and P&L के trial balance को continuously audit करके आपको feedback दे रहा है, it is crossing any thresholds or not. So उस तरह का भी आप automation कर सकते हैं. There's a huge scope of automation opportunity within accounts payable. So जहाँ पे आपको वेंडर का बिल प्रोसेसिंग करना है, आपको उनका रिकंसिलिएशन करना है, आपको उनका जीएसटी फाइलिंग करना है. एक और जो एरिया अभी हम ट्राई कर रहे हैं एड्रेस करने का, दैट इज जीएसटी और 2A का फाइलिंग. So that is one more area which you could look at for automation in the finance and auditing field. And these are certain risks that you need to keep in mind जब भी आप automation कर रहे हैं. But here, from an opportunity point of view, what I'll see is, एक तरह से ये जो risk है, so there is an opportunity also for you, because अगर आप RPA समझ पाते हैं, and a lot of organizations, India में अभी pickup थोड़ा slow है, but now a lot of organizations have started trialing with it, and there is a new field that will open up for you for auditing or validating the risks at organizations, whether they've implemented RPA properly or not, whether उन्होंने जो RPA implement किया है वो ये जो सारी risk है वो ध्यान में रख के किया है कि नहीं किया है. So ये एक नई field आपके लिए opportunity खुल जाएगी जहाँ पे you can offer much more value-added services in auditing the bots. So that is one more reason it is very important for you to understand RPA and how RPA functions. So यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज और recommend करूंगा कि एक UI path का process design document करके PDD documentation है, and if you could get that hang of that document, so that document actually guides you कि आपको किस तरह से process design करना है for automation, but उसी चीज से आप ये भी समझ पाएंगे कि किस तरह से आपको audit करना है कोई अगर process already implement हो चुका है तो. So that is one good guidance note for you. Apart from that, अगर आप opportunity point of view में से देखें तो there are already a lot of RPA developers, but these RPA developers also want people who are expert in the finance and accounts field or auditing and assurance field. So आपके लिए consultancy की एक बहुत अच्छी opportunity है where you can collaborate with them and offer value-added services to the client. And these are the emerging roles or automations that will come in at client's place or at your own place where you can perform automation. So these are all consulting opportunities for you where you can identify right from data entry, payroll processing, compliance reporting. If you are doing IT audit, तो आप IT audit में और भी detailed IT audit कर सकते हैं by setting up bots at your client's end at your own end, आपके खुद के IT systems को you want to audit. Claims management, invoice management. So one thing that I know in the industry is that banking industry has matured a lot in this space. So within banking, a lot of areas related to credit monitoring, collections, lending, loan origination, काफी सारे processes, छोटे processes they've automated and they've actually matured this area. So other industries are not too far, wherein they'll soon try and apply these automation within their different business processes. And with the current challenges that they have, you could be in a very good place to offer them this kind of solutions, automation solutions. Okay, so now I'm going to show certain demos that I have implemented at client's place, and you'll get a fair view of how automation is done. So I'll start with Tally, being the most commonly used system everywhere. So यहाँ पे जो use case है, that is, it's a small use case, but it can be a use case जो आप आपके भी firms में या आपके client के firm में भी सोच सकते हैं apply करने के लिए. यहाँ पे bot क्या कर रहा है, Tally में जा रहा है, it is going into their outstanding statement, it is extracting that outstanding statement, and then it is processing that and identifying कि कौन सी ऐसी customers हैं जिनका payment due है within next couple of days, 5 days, 10 days. And a reminder mail is being sent to them. and then a track of reminder is being kept कि इन दिन पे इनका पेमेंट पेंडिंग है, न्यू व्हाट इज द टोटल अमाउंट दैट इज ड्यू. सपोज इफ एन अमाउंट अगर आपका एंट्री हो जाता है उस अमाउंट का, देन दे गो, अगर पार्शियल पेमेंट अगर हो जाता है, सो जो बैलेंस अमाउंट है उसी के ऊपर वो फॉलो अप भी कर सकता है बॉट. सो this is an AR bot kind of. So what the bot is doing is automatically logging into opening up Tally. It is logging into a particular client, downloading the outstanding account statement, receivables का. And all of this अगर आप देख रहे होंगे तो आपको ये लगेगा कि ये तो ह्यूमन काम कर रहा है, but this is actually a process that is being developed, that a bot is doing. So ये जो आप नीचे देख रहे होंगे UI path करके दिख रहा होगा. So this UI path is the के अंदर ये सॉफ्टवेयर रोबोट क्रिएट किया गया, एंड जब ये रन किया तो ये फ्रंट एंड पे ही रन करेगा, तो आपको ऐसे लगेगा ह्यूमन ऑपरेट कर रहा है, बट ये बॉट रन कर रहा होगा. जब रन करेगा बहुत फास्ट रन करेगा. सो ये प्रोसेस में एक्चुअली क्या हो रहा है, ईमेल पहले यहाँ पे ईमेल आईडी पिकअप हो रहा है, सॉरी. So an email is sent to customer following up on the balance payment with the date of payment and number of days it is due. So client का एक master है जो extracted है already, और उसके ऊपर से ये reminder का count भी रखा जा रहा है. So कौन सी date पे वो raise किया गया था, उसका follow up कितने बार हो चुका है, वो सब information ये bot manage कर रहा है. और ये आपको एक email का example है. So reminder 1 payment due. इस तरह से आप ईमेल भी बॉट के थ्रू ही ड्राफ्ट करके यू कैन सेंड इट. सो यू डोंट नीड एनी ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन ओवर हियर. एवरी वीक यू कैन कस्टमाइज कि आपको हर 15 दिन में करना है, हर महीने में करना है, किस तरह से करना है, एंड यू कैन डू ऑल ऑफ दिस. सो दिस इज वन वेरी सिंपल बट समथिंग दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट विद. सो आरपीए में एक और चीज है, यू शुड स्टार्ट विद सिंपल थिंग्स एंड यू कैन गेट होल्ड ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड देन यू कैन मूव ऑन इनटू मच मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स थिंग्स. अब ये जो है, ये जो यूज केस है, ये वो वाला यूज केस है जो मैं आपको बता रहा था, जहां पे रेट रिकंसिलिएशन, रेट रिविजन, रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव इफेक्ट आ रहा था. सो यहाँ पे इनके जो वेंडर्स है, नाउ दे आर बेस्ड आउट ऑफ लुधियाना, वाघोड़िया, मल्टीपल एरियाज, एंड नाउ व्हाट, और इनकी एक्सेल शीट अगर आप देखेंगे तो देयर वर मिनिमम 25 एक्सेल शीट्स ऑफ डिफरेंट वेंडर एट डिफरेंट लोकेशन जो अपडेट करनी पड़ती थी. अब ये जो बॉट काम कर रहा है, इतना फास्ट काम कर रहा है, हर एक शीट को अपडेट कर रहा है, और उसके बाद वो शीट में से उसने हर एक वेंडर की शीट में से ये इंफॉर्मेशन पुल कर ली कि क्या आइटम कोड है, वेंडर का क्या रेट है, और रिवाइज रेट क्या है. और अब ये परचेज रजिस्टर एसएपी से डाउनलोड कर लिया. एसएपी से डाउनलोड करने के बाद ये हेडर ऑटोमेटिकली डिफाइन कर रहा है, ये कॉन्कैटिनेट और सारे फॉर्मूलाज अप्लाई कर रहा है इन दिस एक्सेल शीट, एंड दिस फॉर्मूला इज अप्लाइड अक्रॉस 1 lakh एंट्रीज दैट आर देयर इन दिस परचेज रजिस्टर. और जब आप फिल्टर करेंगे, सो दे व्हाट द क्लाइंट यूज्ड टू फाइंड आउट वाज इतने मटेरियल्स है जिनमें एक्चुअली रेट इम्पैक्ट है, एंड उसका डेबिट नोट जनरेट होना चाहिए, सप्लीमेंट्री इनवॉइस होना चाहिए, उसकी भी वैल्यू यहाँ पे आ गई है, इंक्लूडिंग जीएसटी का भी जो भी इम्पैक्ट है वो सब कंसिडर करने के बाद. और इसके बाद एक एसएपी का सीएसवी फॉर्मेट में इंफॉर्मेशन जनरेट होती थी. एक और ये अगर आप कोई मैन्युफैक्चरिंग क्लाइंट को एडवाइस कर रहे हैं, सो दिस इज वन मोर स्मॉल यूज केस wherein many manufacturing companies who are into design as well, they use separate design tool like AutoCAD and SolidWorks, और उनका जो ERP होता है, Tally, Navision, SAP अलग ERP रहता है, and there is no integration between these two. सो होता क्या है कि जब भी बिल ऑफ मटेरियल का आपको ईआरपी में एंट्री करना पड़ता है, यहाँ पे क्लाइंट ने क्या किया था, एक बंदा स्पेशली बिठाया था खाली ये बिल ऑफ मटेरियल का एंट्री जो ऑटोकैड से एक्सपोर्ट करते थे एक्सेल में, उसको उनके ईआरपी में एंट्री करने के लिए. अब ये जो आप प्रोसेस देखेंगे, यहाँ पे बॉट ऑटोमेटिकली ये एक्सेल फाइल रीड कर रहा है, और ये ईआरपी में बता दिए, पॉइंट आउट कर दिए कि कहाँ पे क्या चीजें एंटर करनी है. सो अब ये जो भी एंट्रीज हो रही है यहाँ पे ये बॉट के द्वारा हो रही है, तो चांसेस ऑफ मिसिंग एनीथिंग और नॉट एंटरिंग एनीथिंग और एंटरिंग इनकरेक्टली हैज बीन अवॉइडेड। और यहाँ पे जो लाइन आइटम्स है, अभी तो मैंने एग्जांपल के लिए आपको 6 लाइन आइटम दिखाई, बट देयर आर यूज्ड टू 100 क्लोज टू 100 लाइन आइटम्स, और इसके ऊपर से पूरा इनका वर्क ऑर्डर, इनका फाइनल बिलिंग एंड एवरीथिंग इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन दिस बिल ऑफ मटेरियल व्हिच इज वेरी क्रूशियल फॉर द क्लाइंट, their size and कितना requisition करना है and all of that. So bill of material is a hard for them. So ये चीजें पूरी perfectly pick up हो रही है from the software, design software and then being entered over here. And ये चीज develop करने में it did not take more than half an hour to develop this. So this is again a very small but very strong use case that you can provide your customer. अब ये जो चीज है, दिस इज एन एग्जांपल रिलेटेड टू इनवॉइस एंट्री, जहाँ पे बॉट ऑटोमेटिक टेबल के अंदर जो भी लाइन आइटम्स है इंक्लूडिंग क्वांटिटी, यूनिट प्राइस, ये सब पुल कर रहा है। एंड देन मेरे अकाउंट्स पेबल का जो प्रोसेस है, एक ईआरपी जो क्लाउड बेस्ड ईआरपी है, सो यहाँ पे वेबसाइट में पीडीएफ रीड कर रहा है, पीडीएफ भी ईमेल से डाउनलोड कर रहा है, पहले उसको रीड कर रहा है, देन उसको ऑनलाइन ईआरपी में एंटर कर रहा है, उसका एक ये यूज केस है। सो ये एक आरपीए का यूआई पाथ का कम्युनिटी एडिशन का चीज है। सो अगर आप कभी भी आप अगर सर्च करेंगे यूआई पाथ कम्युनिटी एडिशन, यू विल गेट इट देयर ऑनलाइन। एंड आई जस्ट मेक दिस प्रोसेस अ बिट फास्ट। सो यहाँ पे बॉट ऑटोमेटिक आपका ईमेल एड्रेस, पासवर्ड डाल रहा है, एंड दिस इज देयर ऑथेंटिकेशन एंड डेटा एक्सेस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि आपने इसको प्रोसेस में कैसे कंसिडर किया है। तो देयर आर प्रोविजंस वेयर यू कैन यूज within RPA tools to be secure about the data that you are passing in the system. So now here the bot is going into accounts payable and then and getting into journal, और वो journal में एक अब नई journal entry create करेगा। जर्नल एंट्री क्रिएट करने के बाद उसके डिटेल्स, इनवॉइस नंबर क्या है, किस वेंडर का है, कितना अमाउंट का है, किस चीज के लिए है, ऑल ऑफ दोज डिटेल्स विल बी एंटर्ड ओवर हियर। एंड अप्रोप्रिएट हेड में, डेबिट हेड, क्रेडिट हेड में वो अप्रोप्रिएटली वैल्यूज पुश इन कर देगा, एंड देन इट विल पोस्ट द इनवॉइस आल्सो इन द ईआरपी। सो ये माइक्रोसॉफ्ट डायनेमिक्स एनवायरनमेंट में हो रहा है। So these are the kind of use cases that you can actually look into in an organization. And इसके अलावा एक और चीज जो ऑडिटिंग साइड पे मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि एक जो कस्टमर है, ये भी अगेन इंटरनल ऑडिट के थ्रू ऑटोमेशन किया गया था। सो ये क्लाइंट, इनका जो क्लाइंट था, दे हैड टू डू वीकली ऑडिट, और ये अभी क्या प्रोसेस फॉलो करते थे मैनुअली बॉस कि जो क्लाइंट के अकाउंटेंट थे, they used on every Saturday वो 5 बजे और 6 बजे के बीच में अपना ट्रायल बैलेंस डाउनलोड करते थे टैली से, और टैली से डाउनलोड करने के बाद वो ऑडिटर को शेयर करते थे। ऑडिटर ने एक टेम्पलेट प्रिपेयर किया था जहाँ पे वो ट्रायल बैलेंस पहले इनपुट लेते थे, फिर पहले ईमेल से वो डाउनलोड करते थे, फिर उसको इनपुट लेते थे, फिर उनके टेम्पलेट में वो पूरा फिल्टर अप्लाई करके और सब करके अंडरस्टैंड करते थे कि कौन से ऐसे एरियाज है जो थ्रेशोल्ड के बाहर है, थ्रेशोल्ड के अंदर है। सो दे हैड सेटअप किया, रेवेन्यू इतने से ज्यादा गया है तो ग्रीन हो जाना चाहिए, एक्सपेंस इतने से कम गया है, तो हर वीक का वो थ्रेशोल्ड सेटअप करते थे, एंड दे यूज्ड टू मॉनिटर दैट, and based on that they used to give guidance and advice to the client. So now this process में जो challenges था कि काफी बार audit, suppose now this factory was at a remote location and auditor काफी बार जो HO था वो कंपनी का वो was in a city area, so काफी बार अकाउंटेंट जा नहीं पाता था फैक्ट्री पे, तो वहां, और जो टैली था वो फैक्ट्री एरिया पे इंस्टॉल था, तो वो ट्रायल बैलेंस जनरेट नहीं कर पाते थे। दूसरा कि ऑडिटर को ईमेल मिल गया, और ईमेल मिलने के बाद ऑडिटर अभी शाम को मिल रहा है, तो वो नेक्स्ट मंडे जाके वो रिपोर्ट प्रोसेस करके क्लाइंट को भेजता था, तो वो टाइम ऑलरेडी चला गया जहाँ पे वो क्लाइंट फॉर द नेक्स्ट वीक डिसीजन ले सके कि क्या थ्रेशोल्ड्स और वो सब रखने हैं। सो इस केस में अब हमने क्या किया कि हमने बॉट बनाया एट क्लाइंट्स फैक्ट्री ओनली, जहाँ पे वो ऑटोमेटिकली टैली एक्सेस करता था, ट्रायल बैलेंस डाउनलोड करता था, वहीं पे जो टेम्पलेट था उसमें वैल्यूज ऐड हो जाती थी एंड फिल्टर अप्लाई करके एक रिपोर्ट जनरेट हो जाती थी कि ये पर्टिकुलर लेजर आइटम्स है जिनमें डिस्क्रिपेंसीज लग रही है, ये लेजर आइटम्स है जो प्रॉपर्ली वर्क कर रही है, जो लेजर आइटम्स है जो एक्सेप्शनल है, और एक ईमेल फ्रेम हो जाता था विद ऑल दीज इंफॉर्मेशन and was sent out to all the respective stakeholders. So ये भी एक चीज है which is a very good audit case जो आप काफी सारे MSME clients जिनके ये सब challenges रहते हैं you can address. So I'm done with my session and there is a small quiz that I wanted to take, but Kirit ji, if we have time then I can share this Google form and we can just see the result later on. Sir? Hello? Hello?
Thank you so much, Mudit ji, for hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, friends. We have with us one more eminent faculty as well as our mentor, Central Council member, CA Dayaniwas Sharma sir. May I now request, let me check if he is available. Yes, sir is here. To briefly introduce us, Dayaniwas Sharma sir, popularly known as Daya. He is a Central Council member from Hyderabad, and as his name is Daya, he is a certified forensic auditor from ICAI. He has started one-man firm in 2005, which has now grown to a 120 plus members team in 15 years. Firm has delivered high quality deliverables to its clients, which include several MNCs, Navratna, PSUs, and large corporate groups. Their motto is, we keep it simple, we make it work. Sir has given various articles in various newspapers as well as publications. Sir is a managing partner of Lakshmi Niwas and Company, and presently it is 14 years old company. Sir is also director of Extensible Business Reporting Language, XBRL India. Sir is director in KNAV International Limited. So I now request the Central Council member, Dayaniwas sir, to kindly guide the gathering. Sharma sir, over to you.
Thank you, Akshayji. Thank you very much. And Mudit, first of all, I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Mudit, I think very happy to listen to your session. I was listening to your session. I think it was fantastic. And being the vice chairman of Digital Accounting and Assurance Board, I can say, how come you are not you have not reached our Digital Accounting and Assurance Board DAB? Are you faculty there?
No, sir.
So you need to write a mail to me and immediately I'll add you there. I think we require young people and people who understand technology well, who can train our people and members at a larger level. Your session was overall a very interesting thing. So compliments to you. And also, dear friends, Nagpur as such, first of all, thanks to Durgesh bhai who, to Nagpur now, come regularly to Nagpur for various assignments. I've done multiple assignments in Nagpur, and this is the first time I'm delivering a lecture there. So the point is, like the chairman Kirit ji Thank you very much for inviting me. And today, continuing what Mudit spoke, I'm just going to take you through something very interesting and alarming, rather, I can say, or might be which we have been missing out all throughout. From last 7-8 years, the kind of transformation which has come in the digital side, you will actually be surprised and also be happy to know that you have been living in that kind of world all throughout. So one request which I have with Akshay is someone has to be there on screen. Otherwise, I feel like I'm talking to myself because every day, almost 3 to 4 times, I have to be on the screen. And you can understand talking to a machine is like God only save all of us. So Mudit, thank you very much for being there. For whatever time you can be there, you be there. Or if the managing committee can be someone on the screen, that will be of a great help. But otherwise, also I'll just take you all through the entire presentation. No, this is the first time I'm using this GoTo webinar, where actually take sharing of screen. Any idea?
So below video, there will be a desktop kind of widget, small.
Desktop.
Microphone, then there is video, and then there is a desktop screen.
No, I don't. I have a speaker. I have a
If you
camera.
can, if you can see my screen, 1 second. I don't know if my screen is visible to you.
I am just trying to see where I can get in.
So do you have a doc? Audience view, sharing, webcam, all of that is written.
See, everyone is there. Then webcam is there, and screenshot is there.
Yeah.
Then on
So
the
above that sharing is there. If you could just drop down that sharing bit.
sharing is not seen here. I don't know.
Then I think you will need to be provided that right. Akshayji, if you could give him that access.
Akshayji is there. Because I don't see any screen which is there on this.
I have made you the presenter, Sharma. You will have that.
Please choose confidential window. Choose my screen. Yeah, now I got that.
Okay.
Super. So do I click this and go to what? From where do we pick up? Mudit, any idea? Because this screen I'm using for the first time. One second here. Because this is
Yes, sir.
so which screen should I press? The computer screen I should press?
Computer screen. Yes, sir.
So
Are you able to see?
Yeah, we are able to see your screen, sir.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Digital India wala.
Yes, sir. It may be possible that you will not see the video, our photo, but we can see both your video, your photo, as well as the presentation, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Chalo, wherever someone be there, I'll take half an hour to run through you all people. Kya important hai or how important and critical this has become. Going forward, also you will understand. And wherever you find it difficult that I am not traceable or anything, kindly let me know, please. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. So, अरे ये कहाँ गया फिर से? I don't know where it is. Sorry. So let me just take you through one of the most important thing. Thank you, Mudit, for the help. And the most important part, friends, is like, uh, how digital India is actually transformed in last 7 to 8 years or 9 years. I would like to share with you and make you understand whatever Mudit spoke and how importantly that is getting already been utilized, implemented by the government very proactively. I'll say proactively, and you will really understand where we stand and how we are going to go forward. So this will give you an idea with regards to how we are, moving, and this country is actually transformed. So let us talk about the emerging technologies, which is primarily one of the most important. Uh, Hello. Yeah, is it audible? Kirti ji, Kirit ji. Uh, Kirit ji, am I audible or not? I am not able to understand on the screen here. Mudit, are you there?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Please go ahead. Yes, sir.
Oh. So primarily, when I'm talking about emerging technology, which Mudit was talking about in a couple of slides, how this is getting impacted and utilized by the government, you can really understand and appreciate what it is all about. Let me just take the slide to next one. When we are talking about digital India, what digital India really understand first of all? The most thing which is there, there is a lot of disturbance coming to me. Uh, is it? Yeah. When we are talking about India as a whole, अरे ये किसी का मुदित just see speakers are on. And
Sir, your video, your screen is not shared, and I think it is Kirit ji जहाँ से background में है.
हाँ वो किसी का आवाज आते जा रहा है पीछे से डिस्टरबेंस में.
ठीक है sir.
Is it visible?
ठीक है. No, sir, screen is still not visible. Kirit ji has some technical issue, that's why he cannot answer. पर आपका screen नहीं दिख रहा है.
अभी now Mudit, is it audio visible? Yeah?
No, I cannot see your screen, sir.
अभी आया?
No, sir, वो desktop वाला आपको बटन वापस दबाना पड़ेगा, I think, वो computer screen वाला.
अभी
Not there, sir. I don't know that आपसे right चला गया है or what is happening. I cannot see your screen.
not at all, huh?
No, sir.
अरे यार, then I think there is some problem with somewhere. Please close confidential windows. Show my screen. I am doing that, right?
Yeah.
अभी दिखा?
No, sir.
अभी दिखा?
No, sir.
अरे यार, there is some problem, I think.
If you want, you can send it to me and I can present it.
Rather,
Akshay has taken the control. Now he has given you back the control. अगर आप वापस try करेंगे तो अच्छा होगा.
Still not coming?
Yes, sir. Akshayji, is it visible to you?
Sir, I'm still trying to switch the presenter, but I'm not able to share the screen.
No, it's not coming actually.
One more time, I am making you a presenter. Is it on your screen? Share your screen window is coming.
Show my screen is coming. I'm just pressing that button.
Okay.
Then there is a screen on. No one can see your screen. Click on to start sharing. So I am
Correct.
clicking the button, and
But
I
you
am
have to click on the screen first. Means which window you want to share. Click on that and then click share. You have not selected any area.
I have selected. I am able to see in my this thing.
We are not able to see the screen, but
ये कुछ गड़बड़ी है. ठीक है, चलो, no problem. Let me quickly run through a couple of points which are very
Sir,
important.
meanwhile, kindly, if you can send the PPT on email, I will share the screen and you can start your deliberation, sir.
Just give me 1 minute then.
Please, sir.
Can you just tell me mail ID, please?
It's GUL.
एक सेकेंड, मैं आपके कस्टमर केयर आ गया है तो GUL HA
NE N for Nagpur.
हाँ हाँ
Associates ASSOCIATES
okay
@gmail.com.
just sending you in one moment.
Mudit ji, till that time, can we have some thoughts about how we can automate Tally, like a lot of professionals are using Tally now?
No,
Can
sir.
you?
Akshay, I think Dayaniwas sir is ready now.
Sorry.
No, I am just telling that I've just shared you. Kindly have a quick look. If it is coming, nothing like it. क्योंकि मेरी और एक मीटिंग है, I have to run through.
I have received, sir. Just a minute.
I'll not take much of the time, friends. Primarily, I would like to say one thing is in the time the presentation has been placed, India stood at 150th position in 2013-14 for the digital data which was to be used. Fortunately, now the screen is coming up, thankfully. And can you just play the slide? Next slide. Yeah. So what I would like to tell you all is basically, if you remember this government, particularly when it came back, it specifically talked about Digital India all throughout, and Digital India had a lot of other dreams which were attached to it, which actually came into action. So friends, one of the most important point which we all have to understand is from 150th position where India was on data usage, it is reached to #1 position in the world by 2017 itself, and today we are world's #1 in data usage. Now please understand, when we are talking about Digital India is not a small dream, it is a very large dream. Whatever Mudit was speaking, I'll just put you on to with regards to how this has actually been adopted at the national level, and that has been converted into a large compliance level, which is ultimately going to report a higher transparency and governance issues are going to be addressed. So the aim behind Digital India was to make India digitally empowered. You can imagine Digital India is a 1.13 lakh crore initiative by this government. What I am trying to tell you is, when Digital India was being initiated, 4,600 crores was only invested for developing the data labs. across the country. 4,600 crore only to develop data labs. And I'll tell you how that is getting impacted and how that is getting utilized by this government, and how fast our India has actually grown and made to be what it has to be and what it is dreaming to be. So the concept behind Digital India was that, everyone laughed at it. 1.13 lakh crores, kaun bolne wala hai, kya hone wala hai, kuch nahi hone wala hai. All those been talked about. But the concept behind Digital India was to make digitally empowered, to make India digitally empowered, to make governance as participative and responsive. If you remember it right, the statement which was given by our beloved Prime Minister was very simple: governance, less government, more governance. If you see what is less government and more governance is nothing but the e-tendering mechanism, which is actually killed the entire in between adjustment which were happening in larger contracts and all those things. And the things have started moving to a different level altogether. And when you talk about large scale digitization of records, the biggest example today I can give you is the current one are two. One is Aadhaar card, which is actually capture the kind of data which you and I can't even imagine, which I'm going to share in detail. Number two is your Arogya Setu app. Within 11 days, we had crossed more than 13 or 15 crores registrations. And you and I can't even imagine what Arogya Setu is going to be for this country. Today, we are going to digitally, the last slide you should watch when I'm going to talk about. Digitally, you are leaving all the footprints everywhere. And digital footprint means a lot. And this digitization of records are actually going to be a very, very critical factor. And I'm going to demonstrate with you all people. And I'm pretty confident whoever is listening to this session will go back and talk to 10 different people about this particular initiative which has been taken. Let me just take you through. Can you just say in the next slide? There have been a tale of tectonic reforms. If you see from the last 7 years, 8 years, this government has come, they have transformed the entire thing into a step-by-step process. And I have just put this step-by-step process in a particular sequence where you can really appreciate and understand what I'm trying to tell. The first part was Jan Dhan Yojana. If you all remember, the government came back into power, or it came into power rather, by telling that, we would like to cut down on the black money concept. How does the black money concept get killed? Primarily, one of the sources, and a couple of sources like that were there, which have been, critical in the entire process. Now, the point is very simple that, most of you people will really understand in, एक second. I'll just call you back in the session. Yeah, I'll call you back. Sorry. So if you see, Jan Dhan Yojana is nothing but again one of the most important critical areas. If you go back to Rule 6DD of Income Tax Act, agricultural income which is exempted only because to a certain extent, and there are a lot of cash transactions which have been happening. What has happened is they could not touch the Rule 6DD and agricultural income because barren lands used to produce lot of things where India is struggling for certain other aspect. Agricultural income was disclosed and it was not getting taxed. So Jan Dhan Yojana was a concept which has been introduced to just cut down on most important aspect, which was primarily that this agricultural produce which were being put by agriculturists as a cash. So financial inclusion is the concept which is actually attached with Jan Dhan Yojana. And the most important part is the last person on the borders of India should be part of the banking system. That was a concept which was being put by Jan Dhan Yojana. Followed with Aadhaar card. What has happened with Aadhaar card? Let us take an example. हमारे पास कितने किस्म के पैन कार्ड होते थे? अगर आप याद करो, बहुत सारे लोग क्या करें, मल्टीपल पैन कार्ड ले लिए. दयानिवास शर्मा, शर्मा दयानिवास, DN शर्मा, Sharma DN. Every permutation combination, people started taking PAN cards and they used to file multiple income tax returns. And all these fixed deposits, other income which was getting distributed, they had multiple things. But now this PAN card, technically what has happened, Aadhaar card became very critical because your retina and fingerprints became very critical. And this retina and fingerprint were becoming linked with all the things. हमारे पास फिक्स डिपॉजिट रखते थे लोग और वो अलग अलग सर्टिफिकेट जमा करके बैंक से they used to get exempted from tax, and they used to bank used not to deduct the TDS on that aspect. So Aadhaar card actually became very compulsory, though some courts have talked about something, but some interesting things has happened in Aadhaar card, particularly with regards to everything. when your PAN card ले लो, आपका बैंक अकाउंट ले लो, आपका फिक्स डिपॉजिट ले लो, आपका डायरेक्ट आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर ले लो, आपका कुछ भी ले लो. Everyone wanted a Aadhaar card because there cannot be two Dayaniwas Sharma, only for one reason, that if I change my name and put also doesn't matter, but Aadhaar card will only capture retina and fingerprint. The moment you are putting these two things into the system, you put any other name, it will not capture because they are only going to tally. So Aadhaar card became very important, and the data which was getting looped in a different manner. Then came the income declaration scheme. People thought 60% tax kaun bharega, pagal wagal ho gaye, kuch hone wala nahi hai. But he requested, but again people have not done it. Then the demonetization came. What happened in demonetization? People, money was being deposited into bank account. How the bank account was getting deposited? मैं तो मेरे काम वाले के, मेरे ड्राइवर के, मेरे काम वाले के लोगों को गांव में जाकर हम लोग बोले कि अरे बैंक अकाउंट तुम्हारे पास है तो तुम एक काम करो, पैसा तुम्हारे बैंक अकाउंट में जमा कर दो. सब लोग क्या करे, वो पैसा लिया और है ना क्या जाकर क्या जमा कराया, जनधन अकाउंट के अंदर. और व्हाट हैपेंड, द एंटायर डेटा केम आउट ऑन द स्क्रीन saying that these are all the bank accounts which are Jandan account. These people were not having bank account at all. How can there be a situation where so much of money can get deposited? And within 30 days, income tax department has issued notices to all those people who have deposited the cash. How it happened is nothing but data analytics and robotic process automation. Technically, they have linked the bank account and this entire thing, and all the data has come from that particular thing. You understand what I'm trying to tell? The moment the person deposited, these accounts were not at all having 10-20 हजार रुपए भी नहीं रह सकते थे उसके अंदर. 2 लाख का बात छोड़ो, 3 लाख का बात छोड़ो. How can it be possible that at one particular time on that particular event within that 1 month time, all people coming and depositing? So the data actually got extracted by department. And most important part was wherever they had to open the Jandan account, they were required to give the Aadhaar card also attached with this. Then came the transformation, transformation change which has come. We always have thought that payment of cash only will be attracted and that will be disallowed. Then this government came and decided that okay, receipt of cash also will be impacted. Followed with what happened in this entire process? Shell company issue came up. What happened with shell company? Directors were there. Direct identification number were being linked with Aadhaar card. This, that, and all other, and people were not at all able to file the returns, and the company's name have got striked. They have got striked. Why this shell company were being used? Example, CWC scam. What has happened in CWC scam? They have used small companies which were not operational, and money used to come, go out, come, go out. That was the kind of mechanism which was being used. So this shell company was one of the most big source of targeting, and that is how you go back and see. You have to come on the screen and record and tell that I am staying in this particular address, this detail, that detail. क्योंकि ड्राइवर के नाम, इसके नाम, उसके नाम, जितनों के नाम मिले वो आदमी है नहीं है, उसका नाम डाल दिया था और कंपनी इनकॉर्पोरेट हो गई थी. So now that entire striking off happened. What happened immediately after striking off? They empowered, because of this demonetization, cash transaction, income declaration, and after the shell companies, lot of thing has come as a Benami property. Now the Benami property, if you go back and see in the previous slide, I talked about large scale digitization of records. Large scale digitization of records is nothing but this all information which was coming on the system was getting captured, and they were getting to know who is the person behind it, who is not the person behind it. Just imagine, again I am taking you back, 4,600 crores of investment which was being done by government only on data analytic labs. That was one of the most crucial thing. I am sorry I am going a little fast, only for one reason, that I have to go and attend one more program, but I'll just manage to complete as early as possible. Then came the matter when the shell companies got striked off, money laundering got into a problem because all the transactions were getting recorded, which account is come, which money is gone where. Just imagine, I am not telling you this is a theoretical story. This has been happening at a larger level. Please understand, India is actually transformed. I am not telling you transforming. It is transformed. We are late to learn certain things. Robotic process automation is already built in your system. Artificial intelligence is already built in income tax department side, right? There are many such things which have actually happened. But unfortunately, what has been happening is people are not understanding that. This has already been captured. When I'm talking about demonetization का 30 days के अंदर नोटिस आया, कैसा आया कभी कोई नहीं सोचा, आ गया. लेकिन आज तक हम लोग income tax के अंदर we are fighting for the SSEs. Just imagine, all these things have been reported in a balance sheet information, whatever way it was required, it was been done. So what happened the moment these shell companies got into problem, money laundering and Benami transaction became very prominent and enforcement directorate came into existence, lot of companies started shaking and lot of NPAs have come. That is how insolvency bankruptcy code has come. Followed with, because these banks were getting into problem, bank merger kahani start hua tha. उसके बाद क्या हुआ? The one more important area which was very critical was RERA, where real estate used to transform a lot of funds from one place to another. So RERA came into place. Lot of things have got structured like that. The most crucial thing was the GST. Friends, I can tell you one thing very important and critical is that please understand the kind of data capturing which has been happening. As chartered accountants, we are only doing a data feeding activity for the department. And this data feeding activity is so well effectively used as data analytical tool by the government is that you can't even imagine. हम क्या charge कर रहे हैं? 1000 रुपया, 2000 रुपया, 5000 रुपया. We are not even understanding. By underpricing ourselves, we are making a blunder of our life because you yourself are killing this opportunity to make money in the profession. कल ये डेटा फीड होने के बाद सब क्या होने वाला है? रोबोटिक प्रोसेस ऑटोमेशन जो मुदित बात कर रहा था, क्या है? द डॉक्यूमेंट विल गेट स्कैन, ऑटोमेटिकली अकाउंटिंग एंट्री पास होगी, उसके बाद ऑटोमेटिकली जीएसटी रिटर्न निकलेगा, उस पे सिर्फ एक सेकेंड भाई So, I am telling you one thing. Please understand, if you are going to only do the price cutting, then I think we are actually killing our entire practice. Mudit, you are talking very right that your tally accounting package is going to snatch away your opportunity. Because the moment I am going to buy a particular product, it will be barcoded. I have to only just barcode, record it and put it. Automatically the accounting entry will be passed, the returns will be prepared and nothing will be there in our hand. So what is left out for the chartered accountant? Because HSN codes are going to be clearly defined. My product which I am purchasing is recorded. When I am going to sell, is going to be recorded. Everything is going to go automated. And that is where I would like to tell you all people, please understand India is rated in top 3 countries in the world with regards to GST implementation on technological side. You are thinking the dates are getting extended, boss? No, there is a lot being done behind. हर स्टार्ट के लिए एक तकलीफ होती है, ये देश वो तकलीफ सहन करने के लिए रेडी है, सक्षम है, and that is how that is being actually moved. If we are not going to understand this impact, I think we are actually, once upon a time we used to be ahead and government used to be behind, but now the situation is government is ahead and we are behind. Please understand, right? So then came a lot of labor laws which have actually been reformed, and a lot of pacts have been signed between various departments. For the first time in the country, in the 75 years history, we have actually seen a lot of departments getting interconnected with each other. Can you just see in the next slide, please? Can you just say in who is having the access, Mudit, by any chance? Yeah. So looping of laws, no, previous to this, back. हाँ ये एक जमाना था, अगर आप सबको याद होगा कि है ना, हम लोग हमारी टैक्स प्लानिंग एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट्स के हिसाब से करते थे. अब ना वो एग्जेम्पशन लिमिट कहाँ खड़ी है बताओ? नथिंग, नोवेयर. वी हैड एक्साइज का 1.5 करोड़ का एग्जेम्पशन था, बेसिक एग्जेम्पशन, 7.5 लाख फॉर वैट, 10 लाख फॉर जीएस सर्विस टैक्स, एंड इनकम टैक्स वाज 50 lakhs. And what used to happen when I used to start my business, I was a proprietary concern. I got married. I started one more partnership firm with my wife. When I got married and after that I had a child, I created an HUF, and HUF had one more business. And this is how people have actually planned. It is what on 12th August, Prime Minister of this country has said that, look, I respect you all, but you respect the nation. That was a very clear message. So 30 crore population, we have only 1.3 crore people who are filing their income tax return. Now just imagine this entire thing is being clubbed into one particular exemption limit, which is called GST limit of 20 lakhs. What is it 20 lakhs? This includes exempted income also. तुम्हारे पास अगर exempted income है तो भी तुम्हारा registration होना बहुत जरूरी है. That is the criteria which is come. Now just imagine what has happened with this. All this nonsense which was actually getting bifurcated and people were creating multiple files. Whatever you do now, everything is going to get compiled and be evaluated from a particular standpoint. I personally, it is my individual. I am not talking about institute. I am not talking about. I am not talking about anyone. There will be a situation, might be 5 years from now, where income tax audit will not be there. It will be only one GST audit or tax audit. When you talk tax audit, means GST and income tax together. Because of various reasons, which I am going to come and discuss in detail. Next slide, please. Please understand now where we are moving towards. What was talked in 2018? Everyone laughed at the government, saying that there cannot be a faceless scrutiny at all. How is it happening? It will happen, boss. You are thinking, you are not competent to think maybe, but this government has that kind of think tank which can actually make it happen, and today it is happening. Only because of pandemic, but this has created a bigger opportunity to ensure that faceless assessment should happen. Now see what has happened. 2018 in the budget, they talked about a situation where they wanted to introduce the concept of faceless assessment. Everyone laughed. Everyone laughed. 2019, they came out with a CBDT notification, and for your shock and surprise, today let me share you 7,116 cases were done. Top cases were done considering faceless only. And please understand, whatever the shortcomings were being recorded at the time of assessment, this has come as a new surprise to you to give a detailed information in your income tax returns. क्या होना है? क्या करेंगे आप? You are there. The return is asking you to provide so many information, including if any person has a 1 lakh rupees se zyada electricity bill, if you have traveled foreign and spent 20,000 rupees, if you have done something X, Y or Z, whatever the expenditure, there is a big list which has come. Forget about everything. I'll give you one more shocker. Chalo. It is not a shocker in a negative sense. I am telling you, kindly consider this. It is going to transform this nation. And if we are thinking that we are smart, I think the smarter people are way ahead of us. I am not making a criticism. Please understand, I am with you all people. It is my duty as a Central Council member to come and share with you what transformation changes, what tectonic reforms which are actually impacting this nation. And if we are not understanding it today, we will never understand tomorrow. Tomorrow will not be there for us. Let me just put it very clearly. What kind of information they have asked in the income tax return? You know, you're not required. Chartered accountant may not be required for doing an assessment because all my forms are going to provide all information. Kindly change the next slide. I'll show you something very interesting. People intelligently used to do. There are a lot of data sharing initiatives which is done. In 75 years of this country, nowhere have you ever heard that the VAT department is talking to the income tax department. You never heard this. I can challenge. What returns were being filed in VAT returns, the turnover used to never match with income tax return. Income tax return never used to match with service tax return. Now please change the next slide. What is it in which what is the thing which has been done? Just imagine. I'm just going to take you to the next slide. Is it moved to the next slide? Yeah. Now let us see this one. Very interesting thing. Lot of people used to trade into shares in stock markets and they never used to file their income tax return. Few lakhs and crores was being done. Trading was being done. Now what has happened? CBDT and SEBI has come into a pact and they have signed a data sharing agreement. For the first time, data exchange steering group is being formed. Can you just imagine? Data exchange group steering group is being formed. What is it going to do? It is basically going to do सब छोड़ दो जो भी मेरे secondary market में trade थे ना, those all traded transaction will be part of your 26 years going forward. So you cannot do anything. Income and expenditure, whether it is capital gain or capital loss, trading activity or non-trading activity will be directly taken up from the returns itself. You need not do anything. You cannot even think about all the kind of transactions which are happening. And what is going to come out of it? The exchange of data is on request or suo motu. No suo motu is basically press of button, that information will be available to carry out scrutiny, inspection, investigation, and prosecution. This is a statement, a page which is being drafted and put. If you are not going to understand what is happening, Mudit, again I am telling you, what is that we are doing? We are doing a data entry job. I am sorry to say, that job also is being taken away by the government by getting these two departments together, and automatically this information is going to come out from your system. Just imagine, where are we heading? If you think that we are intelligent, again I am telling you, just imagine the kind of data collation which is happening, data mining which is being done, data analytics which is going to come and happen. You and I can't even imagine what is there. Forget about this. Next slide, leke jao. I'll tell you something more interesting. I have taken few of them. I have not taken more. Let us take an example of what new thing. I just told you about service tax, VAT, excise. Never used to tally with your income tax return or company law returns, right? Now you cannot do anything. What I was telling, there might be a only tax audit, which is GST and tax audit will be one audit only. No different audits, because already Prime Minister बोल दिया stage पे से. उसके बाद भी अगर हम समझने नहीं हैं, तो I think God only can save us and our profession. The point is very simple. My GSTR returns have to inevitably tally with my ITR returns. That means whatever GST returns which I am going to feed on a month-on-month basis, like a data entry operator, that data we are going to take responsibility. No, we are very important people. We have to file the GST returns of our employees. We'll sit, we'll make our people sit, type the data, put the data into the system. Now what is happening? This data, when you open the tax audit form, tax audit 3CD form खोलो या online बनने के बाद, automatically the turnover will be picked up from GSTR return, and you cannot have anything different from GSTR return. Why GSTR return? Whether it is exempted income or whether it is taxable income, you actually have to file your return and you have to be registered. Now just imagine, and this entire data, if you go back and further see, financial regulators like RBI, SEBI, IRDA, PFRDA all have signed a special agreement. The number of employees of your organization, the PF returns which is filed by any of your clients' organization will be tallied with the turnover and expenditure and income criteria. Just imagine, पटाख से पूरा information निकलेगा. नमस्कार, आइए पधारिए, दिल्ली पहुंचना है या बॉम्बे पहुंचना है, पूछ लेगा वहां, बस उतना ही, उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं. Followed with, I'll just give you very beautiful example. आत्मनिर्भर भारत हम लोग सब बात करें. आज की तारीख में you go back and check. Mudit, it is interesting for you. It is a case study for you. Kindly do it and you include in your presentation going forward. When you want to go and register any of your clients in MSME, right? It is linked with your PAN card, and PAN card and Aadhaar card. A lot of information is actually tied up. The moment you feed your PAN card, it will pick up your turnover and asset criteria, and the site is going to define whether you are micro, small, or medium. You don't even have that authority anymore. So this is the kind of information collation which is happening. When I am talking about digital India and digital compliance, what I mean by digital India, digital compliance is nothing but, please understand, you need to really understand where we are heading towards. When we are talking about robotic auto process, RPA or artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, these are all real. They are not that you are going to come. आने वाले सालों में आने वाला, ये आ गया. अगर आप अभी भी नहीं समझेंगे, I think there is no end to it. And the kind of data collation which is happening, just change the next slide, please. I was talking about one particular concept which was there, is primarily with regards to digital footprint. Whatever you are doing, friends, I am telling you, whatever you are doing, you are leaving your tag behind. आप क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज करो, डेबिट कार्ड यूज करो, आप आधार कार्ड यूज करो, आपका अभी तो ऐसी हालत है, आपका जो रेजिडेंशियल स्टेटस विल बी डायरेक्टली पिक्ड अप फ्रॉम द एक्सटर्नल अफेयर्स साइट. When you are going to scan your passport, how many days you are out of the country, how many days you are in the country, and everything is going to come on the screen. So please be ready. Please understand, wherever you go, your network follows. Oh, hachka advertisement tha. Now please understand, wherever you go, everything is going to be followed. So please understand. Can you just take the next slide, please? This is what I'm trying to call you. We are trying to use lot of intelligent way of learning. We are thinking that Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, this, that, and all other. We are thinking that you are great. When you are traveling to abroad, no. Now the artificial intelligence or machine learning is going to pick up your face recognition is being done, eyes recognition is being done. Based on that, if I just put two photos together, system will throw that this is Dayaniwas Sharma or this is Mudit Kothari, and this is real. Please understand, the moment we put photos that you are traveling in foreign country and all this information, if you don't file it in your income tax return, that data will pick up, and automatically that entire data will run on its own. We might sleep, we might get up, we might go for a holiday, but machine doesn't understand anything. It is 24/7. It automatically works. So friends, what I would like to tell you is I had very little time. I'm sorry that connectivity was a problem, but sometimes technology actually creates some kind of issues. I promise you one thing, that I'll come back again very soon and have a detailed discussion if you think it is appropriate, and if I have made any value add in your life, then invite me. I'll surely make it possible to come. And if you have felt a little bad about my discussion, my apology. But yes, that is the reality. It is my duty to come and do that, so which I have done. Mudit, I think considering this, if I have spoken some nonsense in the process, kindly rectify it. And if you think it is right, then thank you very much. Kindly incorporate certain important things in your slide, which will make a lot of difference for our members learning. And it is high time that we all need to come together and understand where we are moving towards, where we are heading towards. And the most important part, please understand, is that India is transformed. Don't think that India is the old India anymore. India is changed. India is the youngest country in the world, and I am proud to be the citizen of this nation. And I promise one thing, that at least with these two hands and this brain, nothing will be done wrong. But yes, it is important as a council member that we come, we share with you what has been happening at the larger level. Then I think you all will appreciate and ensure that things which have to be done in a particular perspective has to be done in particular perspective. We have been the people who have adopted everything all in last 74 years. But friends, one thing which I would like to tell is, it is time where we need to transform ourselves. We cannot be sitting relaxed, and we cannot be thinking about doing in a limitation way. It is that time that senior and junior have to come together and make things happen. It cannot be independent, because junior do not have experience, and senior who have experience have limitation of technology knowledge. So I think it is a time where we need to collaborate with each other and ensure that we grow in a multi-fold level. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the branch and the managing committee people for being there, and all the 97 people as of now who have had the patience to listen to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dayaniwas Sharma sir. Definitely leaders like you, when we have as a support, so profession is in right hands. I request Chairman of Nagpur branch, Kirit Kalyani sir, to give formal vote of thanks. Kirit sir, are you there?
I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you, Akshay. Because of technical issues, I was not able to join through laptop. But yes, I was sincerely listening to all the deliberations. On behalf of Nagpur branch, first and foremost, I wish to sincerely thank CA Durgesh Kabra sir, Honorable Central Council member from Mumbai. Yes, I must say he has really graced and has blessed with his words of wisdom as well. Technology, efficiency, and quality are the three core factors that we really need to consider in our auditing services, was a clear message from CA Durgesh Kabra sir. I sincerely thank Durgesh sir for taking time from his busy schedule and really guiding us very effectively. So far as the resource persons for the today's VCM is concerned, Mr. Mudit Kothari ji from Baroda, I must say he has really guided us very effectively with respect to robotic process automation. That yes is the need of our in our professional lives. Friends, I must say his PPT with real-time examples showed his efforts to guide us sincerely. Mudit bhai, I sincerely thank you for taking time and guiding us as well. Thank you. Sincere thanks to you, Mudit bhai. And yes,
Thank you, sir.
last but not CA Dayaniwas Sharma sir, Honorable CCM from Hyderabad. I must say, sir, you have made our day. So far as today's VCM is concerned, you have really guided very effectively.
Thank
He
you.
has really made session very valuable, I must say. Yes, friends, he has cautioned as regards now no more unreasonable extension of deadlines will be there. Now he has shared MOUs for data sharing as well. That is transparency is the need of our and for Indian economy. Yes, it's going to be ensured that he has really conveyed very convincingly. Then faceless assessment के बारे में भी सर ने काफी अच्छे से हमें अपडेट किया. And last but not the least, he has conveyed very effectively. Yes, now transformation is the only effective factor that is going to keep us ahead in our professional arena, and collaboration with ourselves, our professional colleagues, is also to be duly ensured. CA Dayaniwas Sharma sir, I sincerely thank you for sparing time from his very busy schedule. And yes, you have really guided us very effectively. And yes, last but not the least, all the attendee CA members who have attended this VCM and has enabled to make this one a very memorable one and very successful one. I sincerely thank each and every member who has attended this VCM. Wishing to meet you all soon. It's over from my end. Yes, it's over to you, Akshay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dayanand sir, Mudit sir, thank you so much. We are signing off.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.